Have you ever seen a film that made your heart sigh? Or that made you laugh out loud? Or that made you cry? Some films make you wanna hide under your blanket. Some have a sweaty man turning into an insect. Action, romance, Sigourney Weaver kicking ass, Patrick Swayze teaching baby how to dance. Don't you want to hear your favorite films described with little jokes and anecdotes from a couple silly guys? Join Travis and Kevin as they open up the lid and dig their little mitts inside Uncle Doug's bin. Uncle Doug's DVD bin.
Okay. Welcome to Uncle Doug's DVD bin, a production of Haley Bechtel Incorporated LLC, the podcast where we take your favorite movies, give you the facts, tell you the plot. There might even be a few jokes along the way. I'm your host Travis,
and I'm your host Kevin. Travis,
Kevin, am I on the right podcast?
Is there something? Is there something you should tell me? Okay, brand new theme song I've never heard before. I mean, if you and Haley are gonna get out here and just start making decisions about the show without me, I don't think that's acceptable. Okay, I should at least be told that there's a new theme song.
No, it's not like that, Kev. I also didn't know. I thought I was on the wrong podcast. You know how I'm on so many, and I was like, what is this one? I don't even.
So I
don't know what happened.
You didn't know about the new theme song?
I didn't know about the new theme song. I checked the inbox. It didn't say anything. It didn't say anything this time. I thought we were off scot-free.
So we're just zero dark day here. We just got a brand new song dropped on us, and we didn't even know anything. I'm gonna be honest, Travis. I mean, first of all, I like the flute. I like the flute in the song. I like it. I do like it.
I don't know, man. I didn't like any of it. It's not our brand, dude.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely not our brand. I mean, you know, we have you and I both we're very cool urban dudes, you know. So we had like a cool hip hop song that brought in our show, and now it sounds like I'm Joan Baez or something.
Yeah. If she were real sad, I don't know, Kev. Listen, I hope it doesn't like affect listeners. Hopefully they didn't think they were in the wrong place. I mean to her credit, which I believe, was this Haley singing?
I didn't want to say anything. But I think it is.
Why didn't you want to say anything?
I didn't. If we were gonna, you know, if we don't say we like it and she recorded it, then we're gonna. Well, it's not gonna go good for us, you know. I mean, I'm still trying to keep the peace around here, even though I'm a little. I'm getting to the point where maybe I can't keep the peace anymore. You know, it's like, okay, fine. It's got a flute. I like the flute. I'm pretty sure there's some tambourine in there as well, which is also quite appealing. And
I thought I tasted citrus. You're right.
And I like the part about Sigourney Weaver, you know, kicking ass. And why does that not get a beep and we get a beep?
I think the best thing for us to do is just do what we do best, the podcast part, and we're going to have to let the song be the song, man. I don't know what to do about it.
Okay, well, I mean, you could commiserate with me for a second. I mean, how did it make you feel, Travis?
It made me feel sad and oddly yearning for like my grandmother's duvet cover, like the smell of it.
Did you smell your grandma's duvet a lot? I'm sorry, what is a duvet? Yeah. Before we go any further, I need to know what a duvet is.
It covers up the couch sometimes.
Oh, a couch guy I did not know. I didn't know what you've been smelling at your grandma's house, buddy. Yeah, you know, don't pull out French words, you know, that sound like that if you don't explain them right after. You know, I mean, I'm Wikipedia it, I guess.
No, as a kid, I'd play on the couch and stuff, and you get in there, you smell it, right?
So,
anyway, that's what that song reminded me of.
So you hear it here, folks. The new theme song sounds like a smelly duvet cover. Travis said that. That's what Travis said. Travis, hey, we're talking about the Shawshank Redemption. How about that?
That's a Shawshank Redemption. You know, I love this movie, Kev, but I also like the references to this movie and Will Forte's Last Man on Earth.
Hey, I started watching that, by the way.
Oh, did you?
That's your recommendation. It's funny. It's funny.
I love it. So many little funny moments in that, dude. But have you gotten to the part of the show where this comes up?
I'm episode 2. I'm on episode 2. So
okay.
I literally
all right. Well,
started watching it. So
it is in the first season. So I don't want to spoil it for you. It's very funny. But you got more Shawshank Redemption in your future.
I could watch the episode where he just debases himself. The very first episode. I could watch that about 5 more times. He makes a margarita swimming pool. Anyway, that was a good recommendation. You're right. You know my sense of humor, Travis. And you also know how much I love the Shawshank Redemption, and I love a lot of the things about this movie. I love the tone, the pace, the character study, the characters themselves. One of the things about this movie that's always caught me, I never saw this movie until I was probably like early 20s, even early to mid 20s. And it was not spoiled for me. So I didn't know the big twist at the end. So when I got there, it was like, oh, what? Oh my God. The whole time. Oh, what? And it's always stuck with me how cool a reveal that was and how lucky I was, not to have some schmuck on a podcast spoil it for me,
I thought, the twist where he comes out of the prison and he sees the Statue of Liberty there on the beach.
Yeah, turns out, and there's apes everywhere. Yeah, it's.
I couldn't believe it either. I was like, wow, the whole time
he was on the planet of the apes. What?
So crazy. Yeah.
And also that script. One of my favorite writers is Kurt Vonnegut, and he says that everything that you write should either push forward the story or reveal character. I can't think of a single scene or even a single line in this movie that doesn't do that for some character. You know what I mean? Or doesn't progress the story forward. Like, it's so well written. It's such a good script and such a good movie.
Have you read the short story?
I have, Travis.
Stephen King,
the novella.
I've actually not. I'm a bit of a King fan. Maybe over the last 5 or 6 years, I've gotten pretty serious about it. So I just haven't gotten to that one yet. But I do know that the original title is Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption, and they didn't want to include that in the movie for fear it would confuse people into thinking it was a biopic. Of her. And
it's also just way too many words for a movie title.
So many.
Well, Travis, we've reached the point in the show now where we have to sync up, and we got to do our meditative moment, which I know we have agreed. It's great. We really it's not a problem at all.
It relaxes me into a good movie. I tell you that.
I'm agreeing. Yeah, I agree. I think we'll do our own. Okay, all right, our own.
Yep.
You remember them?
Uh-huh.
With this movie, I mean, there's the most quintessential line, I guess, which is "Get busy living" or "Get busy dying." Right. So
okay, yeah.
Let's do an "Om" and a "Get busy living" or "Get busy dying." Let's do it twice. Let's 3 times. Doesn't feel
because it's a little long.
It's a little long, and it doesn't feel like this is a three-peater. You know what I mean? It feels.
I agree.
Like,
it's a 2-peater.
Yeah, it's a 2-peater for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. You ready, Travis? All right.
Okay.
Get busy living or get busy dying. Get busy living or get busy dying. I think that's it.
I feel motivated to take on the world now. Thank you.
I'm ready to at least take on the Shawshank Redemption. The release date was September 23rd, 1994. Directed by Frank Darabont. Written by Stephen King and Frank Darabont. And starring Tim Robbins and Morgan the Man Freeman. Who
Maybe not the most creative nickname for Morgan Freeman.
No.
It's like he's already got man in the last name. Do we really have to? But, he embraces it.
Okay,
I think it's
wait, hold on.
interesting.
Can I take another run at that then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how about Morgan Man Freeman?
I like the symmetry.
I'm
going to give it to you.
Because you got a little bit of the first name and the last name mixed up. I feel like if I explain it to you, it'll get
That's why I said I like the symmetry.
Okay,
I basically said what you
It's
said.
on both sides. It's like a sandwich.
It is like a sandwich. I'm going to segue us on in to 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because one thing I want to point out, Kevin, I don't know, this is a product of Uncle Doug being Uncle Doug.
Right.
There are a lot of movies this season that have been drawn out of that bin that are very light on the fairer sex. Women are hard to come by this season. We are just not getting them.
It's true. It's true. You're doing 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right, Travis?
I'm trying to get to it.
No, I said I wasn't going to do the explanation anymore. You did so well with it. I'm gonna.
I was segueing.
You haven't
gotten.
You did a great job. I'm not going to explain the segment anymore. As I said, as a olive branch to you, I know how much you like olives. I'm not going to do it anymore. So just 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Take her away. Go on.
So, about to connect actors from this movie to our previous movie, which was The Warriors. The first connection here, Kev, I have is the main man connection. Now, there are a lot of main men across the Shawshank Redemption and The Warriors. In fact, you could even think of The Warriors as being a prequel to the Shawshank Redemption. Maybe a lot of those gang members are in those very walls with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe it'd be a sequel. I guess the time works out differently. So maybe it's the sons of the people in
Sons
prison.
of Shawshank. Yeah.
The Sons of Shawshank. Ooh, I like that.
Not bad, right?
Yeah. So anyway, Michael Beck, who played Swan in the last film, was in a movie called The Streets from 1984 with the one Roy Brocksmith. Google him, you'll recognize him.
Okay.
Just an old white guy with a comb over. You've seen him. And he was in The Hudsucker Proxy, another 1994 film with Tim Robbins, who was just on fire in 94. It was like 1994 was just all Tim Robbins and Jim Carrey, man. They were just litting it up.
Nice job, Travis. You did a great job connecting the last movie that we did to the current movie that we're doing, vis-a-vis actors that have shared the screen together, a la sort of 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. But we it's kind of funny because we call it 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre episode. You've done a great job on that. What else you got for me, man, for the 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw
I've got
Massacre?
3 more, and they'll be way better uninterrupted.
Oh, okay.
So we've got, this first one is called Literally
Sorry, Travis. Who's interrupting you? Is it something on your end, or like static? Or
it's called the Literally Any Two Women Connection. I'm just looking for any 2 women I can connect. And trust me, Kev, I started out with certain actresses that were in each of these films, could not connect them. So that's when I got desperate and I said, just give me literally any 2 women to connect across these very star-studded, as in dudes, films. I found it. All right.
Nice.
You remember Mercy from the last movie? She used to hang out with Swan there at the end. You know what I mean? Deborah Van Valkenburg.
Oh, nice name.
Thank you. Don't thank me, thank her dad. Was in The Trials of Kate McCall, a 2013 vehicle that nobody watched, with Isaiah Washington, best known for being homophobic on Grey's Anatomy, who was in Welcome to Collinwood in 2002 with Dorothy Silver, who, by the way, was the landlady in this movie from the 1954 part of the movie. She was the landlady. I found a woman that had an IMDb. In this movie that I could connect to Mercy.
I'm not even going to say that. You did a great job, man. That's hard work. You put that work in to make sure that we are, as we would want to, representing the fair sex on this podcast. So I appreciate that.
I had to dig so far. I could not believe how far down I had to go.
But you did it.
The landlady. She's in like 1 second of the movie.
She's good in it, though. I like the expression
great.
on her face. She looks like she just is so annoyed by just everything. So good.
Mm-hmm.
She brings a lot to that role.
Yeah. Rent is due. I could see on her face. Bad dudes. The bad dudes connection. Okay, listen, I've got Luther. Come on, Warriors, come out to play, yay! David Patrick Kelly. Now he was in 48 Hours with Nick Nolte. All right, who was in a movie called Weeds. Never seen it. Kind of wanna. From 1987 with Mark Rolston, who plays Boggs Diamond in this movie, an unsavory shower character.
Oh, unsavory shower character. You're right. He's one of the, I believe they call them the Sisters, is that particular prison gang. Wow. All right. Okay. Nice job.
Yeah, bad guys.
Nice job, Travis.
And then lastly here, I got bit of a goober connection. All right.
Okay.
James Remar, James Remar might be a little worse than a goober, let's just say, but closest I could get here. So he was Ajax in the last film. He was in Django Unchained back in 2012 with Walton Goggins of current Fallout fame, who was in Machete Kills with William Sadler, who plays the lovable goof Haywood here in the Shawshank Redemption.
Man, nice job, Travis. You have really flowered in your journey with this particular segment of the show. Like every time you bring, much like talking about Nolan Ryan's heyday, every time you bring the heat, man. You know what I mean? Every time you bring the heat. Bo.
No, I appreciate you. I thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Well, how about some of those, dear sweet Travis, preview reviews?
Oh, y'all want some in?
Oh,
okay,
yes.
Yeah, I brought some then. That's great because I brought some. Okay.
Nice.
Here, let's, I'm going to do something a little different this time. Let's start in the middle.
Oh,
Never get to people who are mad on it, on the fence.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Travis. Do you think I should explain this segment?
Nope.
No,
I don't think so. I think people get the idea. We're just reading reviews off Letterboxd. I think it's fine.
Well, like, what if I said something like, Travis, I love how you go on into the wilds of the internet,
you do say that
the
sometimes.
deep, dark space of the web, and cultivate, nay,
he's just going to
forage and bring back to us here on Uncle Doug's DVD bin the most amazing, fantastic opinions of the common person, the lay person upon the street or the interwebs, as it may be, in the preview reviews.
Is it my turn?
Yep, you got it.
Okay.
You got it, dude. Yep.
This first one here in the meh section, we've got a 2.5-er from Olivia with a rose emoji as part of her name. That looks lovely, Olivia. Good choice. This is from mid-July 2022. Jolly good. Good day. This is the most boring movie I've ever seen. You don't have to argue with me in the comments. My mom got mad at me about it already. That was British as crap.
That was as British as the day is long, my man.
Thank you.
I thought British people liked boring things.
Right?
Is that a misconception?
I think they like sitting cross-legged in reading rooms and smoking a pipe.
They drink tea, which is like grass water.
Tea. It's like grass water. They literally have to put grass in a bag and get it hot.
Yeah, I'm not against it. But it seems like.
I thought sounded like we were trying to be against it there for a minute. No, you're right. It's fine.
It's fine. I mean, whatever people want to do with their time, but it's just, I'm shocked that they want an exciting movie when they're just drinking grass.
Yeah, I can't help them. But we do also have another 2.5 star from a Quampton Terran penis.
Okay.
I'll be honest, Kev, I didn't even read that name until just now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked.
Just said it out loud. I'm again it.
Okay, this is from January of 2022. I know people really love this movie, but I don't. I don't like it, and that's okay. It's okay if you like it too, but I don't have to, and I don't. If that upsets you, I'm sorry. I've saved my foreskin in a mason jar for all these years, and I'll give it to you if you want it.
What? I don't.
You heard the man, Kev.
I don't want it. Travis. I just
and then leave the man alone. Let him have his opinion.
But like, I didn't say nothing about his opinion other than that's gross and probably a biohazard. Like, why are you? Don't do that.
I'm with you. I think it's disgusting, but I don't want to give him flack for his opinions. Because I don't want that jar.
No, you're right. He has set up a bit of a catch-22 there. Like, I disagree with him, but I don't want to disagree with him.
That's right.
So I guess I'll just let it go. You're right.
Yeah. But you know what I'm going to do, Kev? I'm going to lift you up.
Okay.
I'm going to lift you up. Let's do the people who are high on it right here in the middle. Let's sandwich.
Nice.
Let's make a good meat sandwich. Okay. 5 stars from Vaders last year or 2024. Biggest red flags in a person is not loving this film.
I'll after hearing about the guy with what he had in that jar, I'll agree. Those are some serious red flags. Like, if you
See?
don't like this movie, you are probably a troubled individual.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I don't know where my screen share went, but don't worry about it. We'll bring it back later.
It's fine.
All right. No, I agree with you, Kev. I think you're right. Now, people that love this movie are very sentimental, as you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
We have a 5-star here from Clara Curtis. Look her up on LinkedIn. Oh. Good job out there, Clara. Quote, Brooks was here. She says, left me sobbing so hard that I had to pause and take a solid 10 minutes to compose myself. But yeah, wow, okay. So this is Dead Ass, one of the greatest films of all time. Y'all weren't overhyping it even a little bit. I have nothing intelligible to contribute to something as incredible and already well discussed as this one. Unreal cinematic experience in a film that I will treasure for the rest of my days. Dead ass, Kev. Dead ass.
That is a glowing. It's good, right? Dead ass.
I don't know. Seems like two words that aren't good put together. Maybe that makes it good.
Yeah. I will say that Brooks was here segment of the movie. They're like, you know what? It hadn't been dark enough yet. It hadn't been sad enough yet. You know what? Let's give you a little something what you really came for. You know, let's really jerk them tears out. And, like the whole thing, like when he's trying to work it. Hey, we'll get to it, Travis. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But that is
simmer down. We got to get through other people's
very
thoughts.
Tragic situation.
Yeah, I agree. We got another 5-star here from Kylo. He was probably in Star Wars. This is from January of 2022. I don't know how to describe how great this movie is other than that I simply love it. It's so moving and thoughtful, so contemplative and wise. They do not make movies like this anymore. I wish they did.
They don't. They don't make movies like this anymore. They don't. They have not.
What was the last movie like this that you saw?
Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, that was the last movie that made me cry.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, I was like, no, not The Interceptor.
Yeah, I remember that. You were in shambles.
I was real upset. Uncle Doug, I didn't. He couldn't talk for a week. He was like, "You don't do that to a fine automobile like that."
Yeah. He also was upset. He didn't seem like they were changing their air filters enough out there.
Oh yeah,
remember?
very. He's like, as dusty as it is, things ain't gonna run no good. I miss Uncle Doug. I wish he was here.
I kind of do too. Yeah. We got a 5-star here. It's from Haunted Hippie. This is last summer. Shawshank is a crazy name for a prison.
I mean,
ain't it though?
Yeah. I mean, Shank. I mean, Shanks.
It's got Shank right in there, man.
And it's surprisingly, I think there's only one Shank in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
well, two if you count the prison itself.
Well, yes, you're right. Yeah, the name and the sign. Mm. So anytime anybody says it, I guess that does count as a Shank.
So there's probably up teen of them.
Yeah, at least a few.
All right. Let's close it out with people who suck, Kev, because they're here and they're ready to party. All right. We have a 1-star from El Bobo. Okay. Sounds like somebody who would give something a 1-star in El Bobo.
Yeah,
okay.
Real Bobo.
This is back in May 20 COVID. A great movie. One of the best, maybe. But it's also my wife's boyfriend's favorite movie, so I'm giving it 1 star to spite him because he sucks. And when he asks if I want anything from the store, I say, yeah, I want some chocolate milk. And he never gets any. What a jerk. Don't know what she sees in him, to be honest, but she says monogamy is a social construct, so if I tell her I should be enough for her, she'll laugh in my face and say I'm just too vanilla and I need to suck it up.
I'm sorry. Let me take that a little more seriously. When you said it, I kind of was zoned out for a second, and I thought it was someone talking about their mom's boyfriend. And then you got to the monogamy part, and I was like, oh my God. That's
momnogamy.
Yeah, momnogamy. That's what it is. Okay, that's fair. But I was like, it was a nice reveal for me. Like, normally I'm not rewarded for when my attention span sort of shifts, but in this case I was rewarded for it. It was a nice reveal.
El Bobo has a lot of issues going on there. It's not just the movie.
Yeah, I do hope he gets his chocolate milk though.
Yeah, that honestly was the saddest part of the whole thing. Up next, we got a 1/2 star. Somebody stooped as low as a 1/2 star. Couldn't muster a full one here. This is they live in anonymity. You hear me on that? It says user 920913. It's yeah.
Okay.
I think so. User 920913. Okay, they don't want to be. They're not going on LinkedIn with that.
No.
This is from 2019, long time ago.
Long time.
I hate Morgan's Freeman, and I hate his stupid hat.
Which one? He has multiple stupid hats throughout the course of the film. I frankly like most of them, to be honest.
I didn't have any issues with the hats.
Yeah, I liked him for the most part. He looks good in them, you know? Like, he could pull off a hat.
I think so, too.
Like, he is a hat guy.
You can put it on.
You know,
Yeah.
Travis, you're also a hat guy. I want you to know that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I'm wearing one right now.
And also, I mean, shout out to your boy Steve. That man can pull off a bandana. You know what I mean? He looks
He's also
solid in a bandana.
He's on Team Hat now. You know,
he moved
everybody
over to
always
Team
comes home to roost on. Yeah.
Is it something about being a dad? He's like, I can't do the bandana anymore, man. I got to go.
Well, Kev, not everybody. I'll say it. I said it before. Not everyone's got a nice, sweet, thick helmet of hair like you do, and we have consciences, and we want to wear hats to cover it up.
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't know all that about him, but I mean, he still looks good.
Yeah, we're all sad.
Looks good.
We're very sad.
Do you guys want to?
Anybody you see wearing a hat sad? Okay, here we go. This is a half-star, a rewatch by HoloCon back in December of 2022. A common person's idea of a great film. I'm not done yet, Kev.
I didn't feel like you were.
Apparently, there were some comments, and then they responded with, they put an update in their review, and they say, update, if this review triggers you, please don't stalk me with abuse. It wouldn't make you feel better. You'd just be proving my point. Deal with your quote-unquote stuff privately.
The internet is a magical place, and I'm glad you have to go out in that filth and not me.
I wonder if the guy with the jar responded to this. They were like, hold up.
He's like, I want to like this movie, but I can't. You're just a poser, you know? I'm in a dark place. Do you think he wears a hat?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Year round.
All right.
Yeah.
It seems right. Well, wow, Travis, you took us on quite a journey there. I think you and I are ready to jump in and cover the plot of the Shawshank Redemption.
You think we're ready for that? Okay.
So the film opens up with a dark screen, and you've got jazzy. I don't know if it's actually used in the game Fallout, but it just reminds me of Fallout because it's from that era. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A little of that 50s jazz, some parlor music.
And I love it. It's setting a tone. It right away says, okay, well, this isn't set in 1994. This is olden times, you know.
Yeah.
Now,
this is Plum 1954.
That's right. Now 40 years earlier, you know. So I guess actually, no, actually, this would still be too current. I was going to say this would be set in the 80s, I guess. The murder would be set in the 80s if this movie was set in present day. So we get a title card. It is white script on a black background that says The Shawshank Redemption. I went ahead, Travis, and we have, of course, been rating title cards. It's our thing. It's really notorious. I like the font a lot. I like how it looks like Shawshank is in a little bit of bold, and the rest of it kind of blends in. I think I dig that. So other than that, there's not much to the title card. So I'm just coming in at an average. I'm giving it a 3.
Oh, okay. I'm giving it a 1. This is boring. It's just font on white on black.
Yeah, but I like the font, though. I think it's an average title card. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad one. Like a 1 would be bad. I think it's just
Garamond. I don't even think that's a fancy font. I think it's Garamond, or maybe a book Antiqua, or something like that, like a Helvetica, maybe a Verdona, if you will.
Well, it's funny. If you'd like to really know something anachronistic in this film, the first time they stamp Morgan Freeman's character Red's parole papers, they stamp it in Helvetica. And I'm only going here because you mentioned Helvetica, which actually was not invented until many years later. So anachronistic.
Gosh,
am I right? They totally screwed the movie up, didn't they?
I can't believe that, man. The
movie's terrible.
Fake.
Well, anyway, we get a title card. I rated a 3. Travis rates it a 1. So we're outside of a bungalow, and we kind of get Andy sitting in the car. He's drinking and playing with his gun, And
as you do.
I was just doing that with Uncle Doug before we started this podcast back in 2000. What was that? 2019, I think it was. Yeah. Remember that's how I met you. Was in 2019. Doug said, "Come get in here," and we just sat in the car, and he's like, "Look at this gun," and we all practiced loading it.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, I remember that. I never did get good at it.
No, that hole in that seat ain't going nowhere either.
No.
Well, anyway, old Andy, he's pretty drunk, but he's pretty good at it. He's loading his gun. And we're getting some cross-cutting kind of back and forth to him in court. And he's testifying about what happened that evening. And we also get a little tete-a-tete going on between his current wife and her lover. They're doing some kissing. Again,
I ain't supposed to do that, Kev. That's monogamy.
Well,
that's the opposite.
We find out that she left Andy for a golf pro, and he wasn't too happy about it. And he went to the bungalow after he went to a few bars, as one might. And he loaded up his gun. He dropped his liquor bottle. He got out of the car. That's as much information as we get. But he says he got back in the car. He's testifying, and he threw the gun over the bridge into the river so that he wouldn't harm anyone. Now, that's his story. The lawyer doesn't believe it.
I think he did it. I think he did.
You are kind of led to believe that, because I mean, he does. It's pretty set. It seems pretty likely that he maybe did this murder, and the lawyer even says, I can understand it, but it was cold and calculated because he reloaded the gun and shot each of them once in the head just to make sure. And you're like, dang, dude. So the jury and the judge agree with the lawyer, and they sentence him to, I believe it's 2 life sentences in Shawshank Penitentiary.
And those life sentences are pretty long, Kev. You're not supposed to make it out of there.
Yeah, it's a long time. I wouldn't want one.
It's so long. Yeah.
Well,
but I bet that golf pro, I bet he wasn't very happy about this. Being dead and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I imagine he wasn't, Travis. I'm glad you pointed that out. I was actually thinking about that. I was like, would he be happy about being murdered with his lover?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think he was pleased at all about that.
I do want to say, like, hey, maybe, I mean, it seems like, I'm not victim blaming here, but I'm saying, like, if I were thinking I was going to be shot by an angry husband, sleeping with his wife would be one way to accomplish that, Again, not victim blaming. I'm against it. I'm against the murder. They shouldn't have done it. But anyway, moving along.
I'm just, if he's a golf pro, he's probably shanked 1 or 2. Where's his redemption?
He don't get one. He just dead, dude.
He doesn't.
You don't. It is very hard once you have acquired death to get a redemption. It's one of those things, dude. One of those things.
Yeah.
Well, we jump to the next scene, which is Red, played by Morgan Freeman's parole hearing. They ask him, essentially, have you been rehabilitated? And he puts on a sunny persona, or as sunny as Red as Morgan Freeman can present, and say, oh, I'm completely reformed. I'm not a danger to society. I'm, remorseful for all the things I've done. And they reject his parole. A little fun fact too: the image of young Morgan Freeman was actually a picture of his son
Alfonso
on the parole for him. So, he is rejected, and he heads back out into the yard. At this point, by the way, I think he's been in prison for 20 years.
Been there a while. Been cooking.
Yeah. Been there a while. Been there for 20 years. So he goes out to the yard, and we get into his monologue, and this is the first time that I remember experiencing the true joy of a Morgan Freeman voiceover. It's so good, dude. It's so good. And his voiceover kind of tells us, well, he's the guy that can get it for you. Every prison's got one, a guy that's good at acquiring items from outside the prison and bringing him in through we kind of see this later on, but he has a little network that he uses to kind of get stuff into the prison. And he sort of sets up his relationship with Andy. He's like, I didn't find it all that surprising when Andy asked me to get Rita Hayworth for him. And you're like, dude,
Well, yeah.
I don't.
What kind of pull does he have?
Yeah, like you could get a whole woman in a prison. That's you are good, dude. We don't know the whole
best
story.
I can do is Johnny Cash. Get him and sing some blues.
Get him
too.
in like two.
No, I do like that. They're all sitting around. I don't know if you're about to cover this or maybe you did already. They're taking bets on who's gonna break first that night.
That's where we're landing right now.
Where we're landing?
So the new prisoners are arriving in the bus. Of course, Andy Dufresne, played by Tim Robbins, is going to be on that bus, and he's, of course, our protagonist.
Fresh fish.
And the whole prison kind of goes nuts. They're all shouting fresh fish, right? Like, these are the new convicts, and
new sweet butt to pound.
Yeah, I reckon so. To some of the prisoners, they're those type of fellers. Well, anyway, we're getting off of the bus. We meet Hadley, Byron Hadley, who's kind of the head prison guard there for the first time, and he's a little rough with one of the guys. He asks him, do you know English? Okay, then go over there and stand in a line. And they want to really kind of establish, I don't know, dominance or the hierarchy or whatever over these prisoners. And you were right, Travis. The Red and his crew of friends decide to basically place bets on who's going to break first out of this new lineup of prisoners. Now, the ones that are going to be most relevant for later, Travis, is Haywood, who you mentioned in our opening.
Real goober.
The real goober in the 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Bets on a portly gentleman. And Morgan Freeman bets the whole farm, or the pack of cigarettes anyway, on Andy Dufresne being the first one to break.
That tall drink of water
it's exactly what it calls me, tall drink of water, because Tim Robbins is a good bit taller than everybody else in this. So if I could paint this scene for you, Travis, all these convicts are yelling, fresh fish, you're chained, these guards are like dragging you in, and then you get into the little entryway area and you meet the warden, and he says, hey, there's one thing I don't tolerate. It's taking the Lord's name in vain. Do any of you have any questions other than that? And one guy asks what time they eat, and he just takes a beating from Hadley.
Oh, that seemed like a good question. Anytime I go somewhere new, that's my first question is when we eat.
When
are we going?
Yeah.
When we gonna sup? As new roommates. Apparently, you don't ask that question.
I don't think you ask any questions, which seems like kind of a setup from the warden.
That's bait.
Which I do think it is a little intentional, because again, they want to scare these prisoners and intimidate them when they come in, so that they maybe behave better.
Comply.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Basically, they're abusing these guys. And this is obviously for us as the audience, we need to know that this is a brutal prison, right? Like this ain't a nice place exactly. This
isn't Shawshank Redemption. Okay, this is a rough shank.
Yeah, it is a hard shank. You know what I mean?
Hard shank.
Yeah. Well, they again, it's that kind of almost stereotypical intake scene that you get in a lot of prison TV shows, movies, or whatever. They like spray him off with a hose, and then they delouse him with some powder, hand him some clothes and a Bible, and march him out onto the cell block just stark naked, and then lock him up and basically, shut the lights off for the night, which I don't know what time this bus arrived, but it's like they're going to bed at like 6:30 because it is bright daylight outside, and it don't take that long to get hosed off and deloused. So, I'm not entirely sure what's happening. But anyway, the lights.
Then maybe they had to do the rectum inspection. I know that takes a minute.
Yeah, well, it depends on your person, but some people are more thorough than others, I guess. But
sure.
Anyway, lights go out, and this is when the taunting starts. Right, because each one of these established prisoners, these prisoners that have been in for a while, is kind of taunting the guy that they bet on to get them to break.
Yeah, and interestingly, Haywood in the beginning of the movie, less goobery. You kind of get more of a, you get more of a menacing edge from him early on, especially when he's picking on his guy, his pudgy fella that he bet on to crack first. Starts asking him questions, and There's something about the questions he asks and just like the cold responses he gives that really pushes this guy over the edge. He kind of put his thumb on the scale there so he can win his bet.
He did, man. That, you know what, Travis? That's a modern discourse in cinema. You know,
It
a
is
discourse in
something akin to
modern
that, isn't it?
cinema. Is it? I don't know. Whatever the thing that Haley wants us to say is. That's what you did there. I do.
Also, Kev, he said a couple big old bull queers. I had never heard that.
Oh, you never heard that one before?
No, I'd never been to prison.
Oh, okay. Well, now you have. I mean, now you heard it. Speaking of being to prison, what do you feel in that first night? Like, I can really sympathize with being absolutely terrified out of your mind, but still trying not to show it, right? Like, because you can't present weakness, right? Like, that's not going to work out in your favor.
I would not want to be in this position. I don't know. Part of me thinks, after a long day of getting deloused and yelled at, I might conk out pretty easily the first night just to get it over with. But that second night, reality's going to hit at some point. It's going to be, I'm going to sob, and I'm probably going to be a weak fish.
So you'd be the one I'd have to bet on then. Okay, good.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm sobbing.
Good.
But night 2, if I can make it to night 2, yeah, I think I make it through night 1 okay. But night 2, dude, I'm sobbing. I'm yelling for Oprah. I'm Tom Cruise, help me. I'm everybody.
Man, all right. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'll know to bet on you for night 2 then. Well, unfortunately for the portly gentleman, who was, unfortunately for Haywood, I guess, if you look at it, he is the first one to crack, and he has a full-on meltdown. And Hadley comes back in, and something bad's about to happen because he takes off his prison guard hat and hands it to one of his, I'll use the term associates loosely, but the prison guards in this place, for the most part, are monsters.
You know who else is a monster, Kev?
Who's that?
Whoever puts together these closed captions for this movie, because the subtitles refer to this character as Fat Ass. And then down here it just shows Fat Ass sobbing and groaning. He doesn't get a name.
That does come up later. So we know something bad is about to happen. And what bad thing happens, Travis?
Oh, they beat him with an old billy club, Kev. They beat him, and they beat him, and they beat him and beat him and beat him and beat him some more. And then he doesn't move much.
Yeah, he takes a boot to the head while he's down, and then he kind of stops moving. So, and even Haywood, he knows what's coming, so he's like, "Stop saying anything, just shut up."
Yeah,
because he's in the cell right next door to this poor guy. And anyway, this guy, he gets beaten into unconsciousness, and Hadley, played by Clancy Brown, by the way, who I did an acting workshop with one time.
Oh, yeah. Was it good?
Yeah, he was great. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
He's also the voice of Mr. Krabs. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But in this movie, he's a terrible monster who beats people to death. It was funny. A lot of the, like Tim Robbins did a lot of character work, like about incarceration stuff. And then Clancy was like, I don't want to actually meet any prison guards or interact with them, really. He's like, I'm just evil. Like, my character's just evil. Like, I can do that. That's no problem. I'll just play him evil.
He crushed it.
He did. He did a fantastic job. He has to be one of the most hateable characters in cinema. Like, he is. Oh, yeah. He's a really bad dude.
He looks like Triple H, too, which also makes me hate him a little bit more in this movie.
Yes. Well, he lays a beat on this guy, and we cut to next morning, and Andy Dufresne never said a word the whole night. Not a whimper, not a whine. He just washed his face off, and maybe he went to sleep. I don't know exactly, but I don't know what he did in the rest of his bunk. But well, at breakfast the next morning, Andy has gotten his food, and we see this is the first little glimpse we get of Boggs, as you had mentioned, I guess he's head of the Sisters, which is the rapist faction of the prison, I guess is the way to put him. Has kind of gets a little eye for Andy, but Andy doesn't notice. He goes and sits on a table near the rest of the gentlemen, and he picks a maggot out of his oatmeal.
They don't go in there. You know, and I listen, I'm steadfast against oatmeal. Always have been. I think it's slop. You know, I grew up poor. I don't have to do this again. But
I kind of hate that you don't like oatmeal. I love oatmeal, man. It's so good. It's so filling and warm.
I think that's precisely why I don't like it. But it's also why maggots do like it, Kev. And I've always said this. If I find a maggot in my oatmeal and there's an old man beside me, I'll gift him my maggot for his bird.
You got a good heart on you, dude. You got a good heart.
Thank you.
That's exactly what happens in the film. Is Andy gives up his prize maggot to Brooks, who has a little tiny baby bird in his shirt pocket that he is named Jack, I think. Let's say
I'll tell you what, he doesn't look a gift maggot in the mouth.
He does.
He's very receptive.
That bird eats it right up. Well, and it is kind of played for us as the audience, because we don't know why he's asking for the maggot initially. Like, he's like, are you going to eat that? And he's like, I am playing on it. Can I have it? Jake is the name of the bird.
Jake.
I knew it was a J. Anyway, he gives the maggot to Jake. So it's played for us a little bit there. Well, Haywood comes out and he wants all his win-ins from his bet, his cigarettes placed before him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you know what? I want to do something nice for my horse. He calls him a horse that won him this bet. So he asks the one of the other prisoners who works in the infirmary what happened to the guy, and he died. He laid there. Died. The doctor had already left, and he just laid there, and basically his brain swelled up, and he died.
Man, that's no way to go, Kev. I'm against it. I don't think that should have happened to that man. I don't know what brought him to prison, but I believe in due process.
It is crazy, and I've never been to prison in the 50s, so I can't tell you whether this is true or not, how laissez-faire the guards are about just murder. They just murder people. But I guess it is part of the theme of this, is like the dehumanization of people and and incarceration, that sort of thing. So Andy asks, what was the guy's name? Does anybody know? And Haywood doesn't care for that. He's like, hey, you just shut your mouth, new fish or fresh fish or whatever. You don't. All you need to know is he's dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, we were going to get to it eventually, Travis. There's a shower scene. And Boggs and his, I don't know, what's it called, Boggs too. I don't know what the other guy's name is. Come up to Andy in the shower and ask him, has anybody got to you yet?
Yeah, meaning like, has anybody got you on their fantasy football team, or are you still looking for a team?
No, I think he meant for sex.
Oh,
forceful sexual assault, I think, is probably what he was meaning there. Yeah.
Damn, I've been turning down all kinds of fantasy football teams in.
Yeah, dude, you should. Huh. Yeah, fantasy football's fine. If they did that, it wouldn't be an issue.
It would be an issue.
And Boggs is so creepy. This actor is so good at being creepy. He's like, yeah, I like it when you play hard to get.
He's very forward, which, I mean, I guess in prison, you got it. He's surviving, doing what he's doing. It's wild, but man. Yeah. You know what this movie did for me, Kev? It reminded me. Don't go to prison.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, especially in the 50s. I'm not doing that.
I thought about it, for sometimes I'm like, what'd be nice, just getting there and catch up on all my reading, get some books in me. But then I think about all the prison sex, and I think, what? Nah, I can read at home.
That is probably my least favorite Tool song, frankly.
Yeah.
We find out Andy works in the laundry. That's just kind of his assignment. And just a quick clip there. And then Andy finally has a full conversation with Red. He approaches him in the yard, and he says, hey, I hear you're a guy that can get things. I'd like a rock hammer. And Red says, well, what do you want it for? And of course they have a little exchange there, like, well, what do you care? I'm just going to pay you. He's like, well, because if you kill someone with it, then I'm going to get in trouble, right? So I'd like to know what you're going to use it for. He's like, all right, well, I like to work on rocks, basically. And he points out, he's like, well, this is a mica and this is a schist or whatever he's picked up out of the yard. And they have a little more dialogue about the sisters. Basically, Red is giving Andy a warning. He's like, hey, they've got an eye on you. You need to grow eyes in the back of your head. Basically, he's like, I don't suppose it would help if I explained to them I wasn't homosexual. And Red goes, well, neither are they. You have to be human to be homosexual. It's like, ooh, these are bad dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was actually very well put. Those are monsters.
Absolutely. Well, essentially, Red says, yes, I can get that for you. Gives him the warning. And he kind of makes a reference. He's like, oh, you want that rock hammer because you're going to try to escape. And Andy sort of laughs. And Red's like, wait. What are you laughing about? He's like, when you see it, you'll understand, because it's just this tiny little thing. It would take a man 400 years. Yeah, 600 years to be able to get out of the prison with it. Fun fact about this scene: Frank Darabont. This was his first movie, so he was maybe overly fastidious with making sure that he got the scene. And reportedly, they shot this scene. And during the course of this, Red is playing baseball with another prisoner. So Morgan Freeman's throwing this ball over and over and over again. Apparently, they did this one scene for 9 to 10 hours. Morgan Freeman's throwing this baseball. So either his arm was really injured, or he was trying to make a point. He came in a sling the next day and refused to film anything.
Jeez, because I did not know that.
Apparently, him and Darabont didn't always see eye to eye on the number of takes that they kind of need to get.
I would imagine so. Also, I learned through this Morgan Freeman left-handed. Didn't know we were dealing with a soft paw.
No,
I'm sorry, a southpaw.
Yes, Shawshank Prison. You know what I mean?
I'm stupid.
Yep. Well, it was. Anyway, there's a great joke here too. Where he asks him, hey, why do people call you Red? He's like, I don't know. I think it's because I'm Irish, which is a reference to the novella.
Book, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So,
because to be clear, because there was not a black character that was played Red in the book. It was an Irish gentleman.
Who I believe had red hair, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I read.
Yeah.
Well, we get to see how the hammer is smuggled in. We kind of see the network of, the laundry or whatever's being brought in, and then a guard gets bribed, and then it goes to a specific prisoner who then gives it to Morgan Freeman's character, who bribes, and it ends up with Andy, and he gets the item that he wanted. And we see it for the first time. It is a tiny, small hammer, and it's like, yeah, that's never going to...
Just a little baby hammer.
Little baby hammer. Little baby hammer.
Little baby hammer.
Well, down in the laundry, Andy gets sent to the back. What I don't think he realizes is that he's being set up, and when he gets back to the back to get the chemicals, Boggs is back there, and he says, honey, hush.
I hate the way he says honey. I don't like it. I don't like it, dude.
Well... there's no nice way to say it, as Morgan Freeman says, prison.
Like a sweetie or a pumpkin, maybe, or a darling. But a honey hush, come on now.
Sugar, I wouldn't mind a sugar,
Yeah.
But honey, I don't like it.
Get on my level.
Hush, honey. I don't like the alliteration. That's what bothers me.
That's it.
Well,
it's too cute.
Anyway, as Morgan Freeman says, the prison is not a fairy tale, so he gets beaten and sexually assaulted by these individuals.
Not good.
That'd
make me want to escape. I tell you that much.
It would make me want to. Yeah, it would make me want to escape prison. I'd be like, I don't like this. Well, things go on like that for apparently years. Every once in a while, Andy shows up, kind of beat up, and literally that's just his new norm for 2 years of his life. And Red, through voiceover, through Morgan Freeman's voiceover. Which, by the way, Travis, can you do a good Morgan Freeman voiceover?
No.
Okay. Neither can I.
No, I would love the yes and you there, but I can't. I've tried, and I can't do it.
Get busy.
What about you?
I can say it with a deep voice, but I can't. I'll get busy living or get busy dying. But I can't. I don't sound like Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Travis, that goes on for several years. Finally, we need something to change, right? Otherwise, this would just be a horribly brutal movie for the next hour and a half we're in for. The roof over on the license plate factory needs to be tarred, and Red pulls a few strings and gets all of his friends and Andy to do this job. Now, while this job's being done, Byron, who, again, he's just so unlikable all the time. He's never once you're like, he's just always a dirtbag. He's complaining because, first of all, he's like, his brother died, and one of the guards is like, oh, man, I'm sorry about your brother. He's like, no, he was a piece of crap. I hated him. He died a millionaire, and he left me a bunch of money. And the other guards are like, well, that's great. And he's like, oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. The government's going to take a bunch of my money, and then maybe I have enough left to buy a car, and then they're going to get me taxes on the car. And he's just ranting and raving, right? And everybody.
Meanwhile, Tim Robbins, though, he's like, I hear you talking over there about that money. I like money.
That's right. Because he was a banker.
They're like, hey,
Travis, we haven't mentioned that he was a banker on the outside. Very good.
He was
with
a
numbers.
banker from Boston. He caulked and floated across the river. No, but of course, as Andy's doing that, Red's like, Andy, what are you doing? Keep your eyes on your mop. What are you doing? Don't lock eyes with him. But Andy's transfixed because he's got a plan, Kevin. I don't know, man. I wouldn't get out of line with these guys.
Well, Andy lives on a different plane of existence than you and I do. So he approaches Hadley from behind without announcing himself and gets 2 shotguns turned on him. And the first thing he says is, do you trust your wife? Andy, start with... Don't bury the lead.
He's got something going on.
Don't bury the lead. And so...
now, Kev, listen, I don't want to victim blame or anything like that. I ain't saying his wife did the right thing by cheating on him, but I'm saying I understand.
I didn't connect Andy's wife being unfaithful to him to Hadley's wife. That's why he might ask Hadley this. The only thing I made in my head was that like he wanted to try to get Hadley's attention. Like he thought he might get ignored or just beaten up before he had a chance to say his piece. But essentially what he tells Hadley, before that, he says, hey, do you trust your wife? Would she go behind your back? And Hadley's like, all right, well, this guy's about to have an accident. Word for word, grabs him to throw him off of the roof. And Andy's like, wait, hold on a minute. I have basically you can give your spouse. I don't know if this is true. I haven't looked this up. I bet if it is, the IRS like closed this loophole. But you could give your spouse a one-time gift of like up to $50,000 or something like that. Again, don't take tax advice from Travis and I through a movie. Okay, don't do that. Do your own research.
Don't do it.
You could do that yourself. And he, of course, talks Hadley up. He's like, oh, but you would have figured that out. You're so smart. But, I could do the paperwork for you almost for free. And Hadley's like, oh, yeah, well, you won't be paid. He's like, I'd just like 3 bottles of Suds beer, Travis, for my coworkers and I.
Beers from my boys, man. What a guy. What a guy. Endearing himself to the crowd. It's a smart play right here. I dig it. I'm all the time saying, hey, what can I do that'll get me more beers for my boys?
Now
that's why I'm liked.
You literally gave me a beer yesterday, and I liked you more for it. You know what I mean?
See,
appreciate it, dude.
I know the magic. I know my way to a man's heart.
Yeah, dude. And you and I have not even tarred a roof together yet. I'm sure we will. It's only a matter of time.
Oh, of course.
Next time Doug does a roof, you got to help, okay, dude? I'm not doing it all by myself next time. You know I don't like heights.
All right.
Well, anyway, sure enough, Hadley agrees to this, and the fellas sit out on the. I love this shot, dude. This shot's beautiful, by the way. Like the sun is at that perfect. I think it's actually a sunset, but they say it's a sunrise. It doesn't matter. The Earth rotates. The sun doesn't go anywhere. I don't know why we say things that way, but it's this beautiful level of light. They call that whatever, the perfect hour or the golden hour. That's what they call that. And the fellas are just sat down, just enjoying these beers in a way, Travis, that you've never enjoyed anything in your life. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true, man. I've never roofed.
And it turns out Andy doesn't even want the beer. He says, I quit drinking. He just, a lot of people say, or I think it was voiceover from Red. He's like, everybody thought maybe he wanted to make the guards like him or the prisoners like him, but I think he just wanted to feel human for a little while. I was like, yeah, dude.
I wonder how many golden hours it took for the director to get the perfect shot.
Well, the cinematographer, who has won quite a few awards, actually, I think he just won the cinematographer this won Academy Award for the last Blade Runner movie. The one that had Ryan Gosling in it. So, but he's done some. If you look up his history of films that he's worked on, every one of them looks amazing. But anyway, We cut to another scene where Andy and Red are playing checkers, and Andy wants chess. He likes chess better than checkers, probably because Red just keeps walloping him at checkers, it looks like. So he wants something maybe a little bit, I'm a board game guy. I want something I can sink my teeth into. I can get it.
He wants something crunchy. He wants something thick.
Yeah, nice and crunchy, like the peanut butter, man. And so he's collecting some rocks. He asked Red to maybe get him a board, but he's going to collect the rocks himself to kind of make these chess pieces. They also have a little bit of a heart-to-heart. They've known each other for years at this point. And he goes, hey, why'd you kill your wife? And he's like, I didn't. I'm innocent or whatever. And
which is the thing, at the beginning of the movie, there was a whole back and forth about how, like, oh yeah, well, everyone in here is innocent, don't you know? It was, it was my lawyer. I had a bad lawyer or something like that. Yep. And so that's kind of riffed on a few times throughout.
Yep.
There's no guilty men in Shawshank.
Except according to Red, him. He's like, no, I did it.
He's the one. He's the only one, yeah.
Yep, he's the only guilty man in Shawshank. So, we cut to we get a little quick scene where Andy is working on his chess pieces, and he looks at some carvings of names on the wall, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to carve my name on the wall because this is going to be myself for a long time. So we see him carving the outline of the A, and we cut away. Now you're going to want to remember that scene, Travis. You just remember that scene. It may come back later, okay? Just remember it.
Kev, and I don't want to like spoil the movie ahead or anything like that, but I wasn't the only one who thought when he got this hammer that he was trying to go through the wall, right? Like,
I can only speak for myself. I did not think that he was. Again, I
fellow rock enthusiast was.
Well, I did think I think they do a good job of acknowledging that and setting you up by saying like, yeah, it would take forever to get out of prison with this thing.
Yeah, why would you even try?
Yeah. I think they do address that. Of course, we as the audience are going to think that, and we've seen again. I don't think I looked at the cover of this. I worked in a music DVD movie store, and I would just buy several movies with my paycheck to watch, and somebody recommended that one, so I don't even think I really looked at the DVD case when I bought it and put it in or whatever. But the movie poster is him standing free in the rain, so you do have some idea. If you again, I really wish there was a way to promote movies that don't involve trailers and posters, because they a lot of times ruin what could be really great scenes in movies.
I mean, that could have been rain out in the yard. It didn't have to be. It didn't really give away that he's free there.
Right. Well, anyway.
But anyway, Rita Hayworth.
The fellows in the prison are all gathered in. Maybe they. I guess I don't know if this is the movie room, the Rompus room. I don't know what they got in this prison, but anyway, they're watching Gilda. Starring Rita Hayworth, and Andy wants to talk to Red about getting him an item, and Red says, "You just wait a minute. This is my favorite part." I love this scene. Dude.
Just dudes being bros, being dudes, watching a movie together.
What's his favorite part, Travis?
He likes the part with Rita Hayworth, who's very hot.
Yeah, she does this thing with her hair. He says, hold on a minute. She's about to do the thing with her hair, and she like pops up and she's smoking a cigarette, and her hair like swishes back, and you're like, dude, I get it, dude.
Yeah.
It made me feel.
That's how I wake up every morning.
You swish your hair and smoke a cigarette?
Yep.
Travis, you should quit smoking. That's bad for your health. But anyway, Andy actually says he wants Rita Hayworth, calling back to Red's monologue at the beginning. He wants a poster of Rita Hayworth. So he's like, okay.
Now, see, that I didn't pick up on. I thought he asked him for a full woman.
Yep.
And that was the part I didn't put together. There was going to be a poster until the poster came. I was like, when's Rita Hayworth coming?
Well, Travis, that's when you need me for this modern discourse in cinema.
That's true, man.
So, Red says, I don't have her down the front of my pants, so it'll take me about 2 weeks to get her. And Andy's like, okay. So Andy then leaves movie. I don't know if he has another responsibility. I don't know how he's able to freely walk around the prison. I asked that a lot in this movie. It makes sense later as he kind of becomes a trustee. But in this case, he's, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. he gets
I know what
grabbed
happens
up.
in a lot of prison movies. Always end up being like, so you just get to do whatever you want in there?
You're wandering around? That don't seem
You
right.
could wander around, do your laundry, and
But again,
have sex with your dudes, your best friends.
I've never been to prison in the 50s, Travis. I've never been
Right.
there, so I don't know exactly what it's like. Well, what happens, Travis, is he's walking down the hallway, and the sisters grab him up, and they drag him into the real room where they're where they have the film projector room, if you will.
Yeah.
And they pull out a shank, and they tell him that Andy does try to Shawshank, if you will, and Andy does try to fight them off. He is sort of successful. They finally subdue him, and there's a whole line here about like, hey, I'm going to put something in your mouth, and if you don't, I'm going to stab you. And Andy's like, well, go ahead and stab me. The bite reflex is such that you wouldn't be able to get my jaws open without losing whatever you put in my mouth. So
they gave him some pause. He was like, oh, okay, maybe not that.
He's like, how do you know this stuff? He's like, do you know how to read, you ignorant piece of garbage? Something like that's a great line.
It's a great line.
Well, they beat him almost to death. The line in the film is within an inch of his life. Andy spends 2 months in the infirmary, and Boggs spends a month in solitary. But when Boggs get out of solitary, he heads back to his cell. And what happens to him there, Travis?
I think whatever happens, we'll find out after this commercial break. Feeling stressed, overwhelmed, emotionally backed up like a Sheetz bathroom attached to a truck stop? Introducing BetterYelp, the online therapy clinic for folks who know they need help, but still aren't totally convinced that feelings are real. At BetterYelp, our licensed-ish counselors are standing by to help you process life's toughest moments. Your brother-in-law borrowed your trailer and brought it back with a huge dent in the side, but he ain't owning up to nothing, and you can't say anything because your wife's made it very clear that he's working hard and turning his life around, and coming down on him on something like this just isn't helpful right now. Or maybe your fantasy football team thinks you're toxic because you only started attending church to pray the players on your opponent's team get hurt that Sunday. Or maybe you've been carrying unresolved trauma from the time your dad said he was a little disappointed in your drywall work, even though he knows you worked on it real hard and even skipped out on watching the Braves play all weekend to get it done. Check out BetterYelp. Just log on, answer a few simple questions, and they'll match you with a therapist who understands your lifestyle, your pain, and why you keep that old Chevy Lumina in the garage when you know dang good and well you'll never get it running. It might be time to let go of the past. BetterYelp offers convenient online sessions, text-based emotional support, and their exclusive rub some dirt on it, but in an emotional sort of way treatment plan. BetterYelp, because sometimes you got to talk it out before you punch through the drywall. BetterYelp is not a substitute for real therapy, medical advice, anger management, marriage counseling, or leaving Facebook Marketplace arguments unresolved.
Wow, that's quite an advertisement. When do we actually get paid for having these advertisements that we're
I think she said the fifth Sunday.
Fifth Sunday. Okay, that's good. Yeah, no, that's
something like
that's
that.
not. It can be that.
I don't know.
We've had a bunch of Sundays, so it can't be that far away. Okay, good. Well, when Boggs returns to his cell, he returns to a beaten, real bad one from Hadley that he never recovers from. In fact, they have to send him to a hospital upstate because he can't eat or move. He's essentially
better call
paralyzed.
BetterYelp.
Yeah, better call better lawyer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Boggs is out of the picture, and nobody's going to mess with Andy anymore. The reason I assume the guards wanted to protect Andy is that he might be a useful resource for them, and they're kind of realizing that. Well, while he's in the infirmary, the fellas collect some rocks for Andy. There's a horse poop joke in here because poor Haywood picks up some horse poop.
It's poop. Yeah. Haywood, come on now.
And when Andy gets back, he's got his Rita Hayworth poster, so it's probably fine. Everything's fine. He's okay.
Yeah.
Well, the warden shows up, and Hadley and and the other guards, and they're tossing cells. Right, this is how they find some contraband in the cells. But we get the impression that the warden is more sizing Andy up, right? He knows he's smart. He knows he was this banker. Maybe he's got a better way to use this guy, you know. But when he comes in, Andy's holding on tightly to his Bible, okay? And the warden asks him, does he know any verses? And Andy, he know Bible, dude.
He knows a couple, and a couple Isaiahs there. Yeah, he's pretty good, pretty quick.
He does.
It's good to have a couple of those under your hat because you never know who's going to ask you.
That's true. That's very true, dude. So Andy lets the warden hold his Bible. The warden wants to kind of hold the Bible, and he's talking. They have a little dialogue back and forth. Hadley says there's a little contraband in there, but nothing to get too upset about. Warden doesn't like the girly poster, but he's like, well, maybe we can make an exception or two. And as he's heading back out, he hands the Bible from his sweaty, wardeny hand right back over to Andy. Now, I want you to remember this Bible, Travis. It's going to come up later.
It should have had some weight to it.
It should have had a little more weight to it than you would expect of a Bible, but,
hey. A little wobbly in there, too. It's interesting.
The word of the Lord can be quite heavy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the blood of Christ slishing and swashing in there. That's what you feel.
It's the power, of the Lord. Well, Andy gets assigned from the laundry. There's a quick scene of the warden doing this, but gets assigned from the laundry to the library, and he walks in the library. And Jake is in there. Jake's a full-grown raven now, or crow. I don't know the difference. I don't know the difference, except for one brings souls back from the dead for revenge. Okay, that's the only difference I know between the two birds.
Okay, yeah, I don't. I think maybe it was an albatross.
Could be a peacock. I'm not sure, dude. I'm not sure, but it's a bird, big black one, and we get a tour of the library. Brooks kind of shows him around, and it's like one room of like musty National Geographics and
Reader's Digest,
Digest of books. And Andy's like, why did they, Brooks, have you ever had an assistant? He's like, I've been in here 40 years and never had an assistant. I don't know why they sent you down here, basically. And then
I invented books. I was here before books.
These were all scrolls before me, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
to me, I'm thinking though, right here, I'm like, Brooks is getting the electric chair soon.
Like they're like Brooks is on the way out. Like, and there is, in other words, Travis, Brooks is almost done. Yeah,
he's about to boogie onto heaven. That's for sure.
He's gonna take Jake down to the neon. Anyway,
moon.
Yeah, neon moon. Yeah. Anyway, it's been fun. Moving on. It turns out that the guards want to use Andy for financial advice. So the first guard drops in and asks about setting up a trust fund for his kids to be able to go to college. Andy also decides, since, basically he's kind of like the prison staff's pet, that he might get a few privileges out of that. And the thing that he might be able to do is to make the library a better place for all the prisoners, right? So he talks to the warden. He's going to try to get money. The warden says no. He's like, okay, well, can I write the state letters? And the warden says, it's a waste of your time, kid, but go ahead. I'll even put them in the mail for you.
Oh, I bet he won't, though.
Well,
I bet he probably wouldn't even do that, Kev.
Spoiler, Travis, he does. He writes a letter a week to the state. And then he does taxes for everybody. There's kind of a little bit of a montage of time passing, and he's doing everybody's taxes. They bring in guards from other prisons, and he's doing their taxes and their financial work. And eventually, we cut to a scene in the library where Brooks has Haywood by the throat. He's got a shank. I'm sorry, that's actual shank number 2. To Haywood's throat, and he's going to kill him. And Andy talks him down, right? He's like, no, Brooks, you're my friend. You're a nice guy. You wouldn't do that to Haywood. Haywood's your friend. Settle down. And we find out that all Haywood did to set Brooks off was to congratulate him on his parole.
Yeah. He don't want to be getting nowhere, Kev, because it's home here. What? The outside's crazy. If I had gone to prison in 2010 even, and you let me out right now with all the TikToks and the gas prices, and Post Malone's face, I wouldn't be able to handle it, Kev. I'd want right back in. I'd be clawing the door down to get back in.
What about Jelly Roll? How would you feel about Jelly Roll?
I don't know Jelly Roll. Is he big?
He was. He's lost weight. He got on Ozempic, I think. He's lost some weight. He's got a bunch of face tattoos, though, too. So.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's not bad. Well, I mean, it's music.
Yeah.
Like of all the music that's ever been written, it's some of it. So I can say that
okay.
for sure.
All right.
Well, anyway, Brooks got parole, and he is
he don't like it.
he's been released, and we kind of get they alluded to it. I'm sorry. Before he gets out, there's a scene where Red, and this is actually fairly important, discusses with the other fellows what it means to be institutionalized. And then he thinks Brooks has become institutionalized. And it's exactly what we were talking about, Travis. Like this is home to him. Like he doesn't know how to function outside of Shawshank.
And not only that, society is not going to allow him to function like you or I could. You know, he has a stigma attached to his name. It's going to be hard for him to get anywhere, especially his age. Yeah. I mean, this is tough for a guy his age and stature to be released back into the wilds of society.
And to describe Brooks, we've never actually described him if you haven't seen the film, which you should watch this movie. In fact, just stop this podcast now, go watch the movie, come back and pick it up at this point. But Brooks is a very elderly man at this point. And the actor...
He's probably a 52 in prison. That's a prison 52, I think.
That's a prison 52, yeah, dude.
He looks rough.
Well, he does appear to be quite old. He lets Jake go. He turns Jake loose and says, you got to go make it on your own now, buddy. And he's got a voiceover here that is... composed of a letter that he's writing back to the fellas that are still in prison. And this is a short, maybe 3 minutes, something like that. But boy, does it really hit you hard because he just seems so, he's no longer fresh fish. He's fish out of water. He's fresh fish in reverse, right?
That's true.
He said, I never even saw a car, like maybe one car when I went into prison, and now they're everywhere. One nearly runs him over.
Yeah. And the way this actor, I mean, he's portraying himself as pretty, feeble, weak, and confused, and befuddled, and scared, and it's very touching to watch him just do simple things like walk across the street and see the world around him has changed. He's just not ready for it. And it's not ready for him, I don't think.
No. Well, the parole board gets him into a halfway house, and we see the landlady that you mentioned in the 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw.
That's Dorothy Silver, Kev.
Yeah, Dorothy
Silver.
Sorry, I forgot this was not her most famous role, obviously. No. But they get him a job at the Foodway convenience store, and he says, I'm like trying to keep up, but he's an older guy, and then you got some Karen or 2026, I guess it's a Kevin. I've heard that Karen's Bernice, whatever. Trish in our case, am I right? A real Trish. Yeah.
Classic Trish over there, giving him guff. Double bag that, please.
And it's like, it's a paper bag. You don't, unless it's jelly, you don't like liquid. Like I'm just pouring a jar of jelly in this. You don't need a double bag on paper. And this is 1950s paper. This stuff is substantial. But anyway,
this was made out of the sequoias they wiped out in California. These are real good thick pieces of paper.
They destroyed the living planet for these paper bags. They were good paper bags, dude.
They were. They made them to last back then.
They did. I still have mine. My granddaddy's actually all his paper bags he ever got. They're nice, dude. Heirlooms. Well, anyway. He kind of talks about how he has terrible dreams, and all he can think about is committing crimes to head back to Shawshank. I love the line. He's like, maybe I'll get me a gun and rob the Foodway. I could shoot the manager. That'd be like a bonus because he doesn't. Because the manager's giving him grief. Yeah, the manager's giving him grief. But eventually it cuts back to the halfway house, and he's putting on his suit. He's packing his suitcase. So we say to ourselves, well, Brooks is going to head off somewhere and try to make a go of it somewhere else. And he climbs up on a table, and he carves in the little like support beam or whatever it is in the halfway house. Brooks was here, so he wants people to know he was there. And then Travis, the man hangs himself.
He does, Kev. And, you know, you look at that and you think, he could have said Brooks is here, but I think he said Brooks was here. That's more apt for what he was planning.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it should have been a clue, I think. It should have been a clue.
Yeah.
And
I was like, well, you is there.
I
Brooks.
love
okay, I see.
the cinematography of the scene, because there's a couple of things, Travis, that I know you didn't notice, but I did.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, the cinematography, I saw it all, man. Tell him what I was
you want me to,
say.
I'll tell him what you're ready to say. One of the things that we see is that, and it's a weird shot, right? Because there are these wood stiles on the support beam, right? So when we see his
it's like
face
a ceiling rail. It's a very weird
it's like a
piece of architecture.
Yeah, like an ornamental or something, whatever. But
Yeah.
anyway, when we see his face on the other side of it, it looks like he's back in bars, like he's back behind bars. He's in prison again.
Yeah.
And I love the shot of like when he's shined his shoes up, to a perfect shine, and then as he's carving his message on the into the plaster, it dirties up his shoes, and like he does this tip motion to fall, and he hangs himself, and it's that whole sequence is just incredible, dude.
And the mirror in the background gives you more of his silhouette dangling because you just see his feet kind of rock back and forth. I thought that was a nice little touch too.
Yeah.
It's very well composed.
Very well composed. Well, we need a win after that, dude. That was hard. That was hard on all of us.
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah.
So we cut back to the prison, and piles and piles of books have been delivered, and $200 in check form, which I'm sure the prison just stole probably, but have been allocated from the state, and they say, hey, could you stop sending us letters, please? Which Andy says, all right, I'm going to send him 2 letters a week now. So,
and $200 back then is roughly $2,500 today.
Dude, that could get a decent amount of books.
Chunk.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, pretty good chunk of change.
With it, inflation and all. So Andy is to the moon over having gotten these books and this money to further his prison project. And then, it's a Stephen King adaptation, so you got to get a poop joke in there. The guard says, I'm going to go pinch a loaf. You clean all these books up, right?
Why is Stephen King like this? Why does he do this?
He likes poop jokes.
Every time.
Well, speaking of, pinching a loaf, let me get this ad in here, that I'm supposed to read. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Were you once the next big thing in regional theater, but these days you're playing Robert Shaw in a production about a movie, Jaws, that 37 retirees and one confused Travis saw? That is so specific, Travis. I swear to God that these commercials are about me. I don't mean to be paranoid, but I swear to God that it's just so... Okay, it's fine. It's
kind of weird because I was only confused the first time I watched it, so...
Yeah. You picked up on it. That's fine. Anyway, okay, all right. It's probably just a I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna finish it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a fluke. It's a fluke. Get back in there. Yeah, we need the money. Come on.
Knowing full well that the only acting you're doing is acting like you're still relevant. I know I am.
Well, it said that.
Yeah,
it said that. The thing you read says that.
I just said that right out loud. Okay. Then you need
how is she?
Neil Jensen's Elite Acting Conservatory and Pet Sitting Service. Okay. Because let's face it, the industry has moved on. Your agent died in 2008. I do miss Patrice. That is.
Okay.
Your IMDb page looks like someone thought it couldn't get any worse, and then somehow it did. And the last role, that's not funny.
I don't agree. No, sorry, I don't agree with that at all.
Why are you laughing at that?
I don't agree with that.
All right. And the last role you booked required you to portray sweating dad number 2 in a local HVAC commercial filmed behind a Long John Silver's. It was $200.
I thought you were great in that, by the way.
Thank you. I did need that. But in Neil's studio, your dreams are not dead. They're simply bloated, leathery, and floating face down in a motel swimming pool. Okay.
Huh.
But they're still there instead of carted away and buried, which is what would be done in any sane world. Before Neil, I guess me, Kevin, funny.
Hey.
I was lost. I was emotionally trapped in the glory days of playing Quint in a low-budget stage adaptation where they couldn't even afford a shark, and I kept insisting people recognized me for the production when in reality they were asking if I was the guy who got fired from Staples for stealing the coffee maker, and I just borrowed it. And I swear to God, Haley's doing this just to get to me. I told her that story in confidence. Okay. All right.
What did you tell it to me in confidence? Because I told a couple people.
Okay. All right. Well, that's not super helpful. This freaking Neil Jensen. Okay, whatever. But Neil saw something in me, not talent, certainly, but vulnerability, neediness, the kind of desperate yearning that can only come from a man still carrying headshots in his glove compartment at age 43. You know, I might need them. So if you're ready to stop living in the past and ready to pay someone to pay attention to you, contact Neil Jensen today, Suite 4B, behind the abandoned Quiznos, Daytona, Florida. Neil Jensen Acting Studio, because somewhere deep down you still believe the curtain hasn't fallen. Even if it has. It really has, Kevin.
Whoa, it said your name at the end.
Yeah,
like
right at the
Wow. I think you think she likes me more than you, dude? Because she's been sending me fun ones. And yours seem like about you and how like worthless and stuff you are at acting. Do you think you should call that guy?
I just need a minute.
Should I call him?
Yeah, maybe if you just call, maybe. I don't. There isn't a number.
Like on your behalf, or like for myself. Like, should I get acting like?
Maybe it's this guy Neil. Maybe he doesn't like me because he's paying me for these ads. Well, anyway, I'm going to I got to get through it for the podcast, Travis. Anything for the podcast. You know, I've always been committed to Uncle Doug. It's just, I always thought something would come with my acting, and I guess just not yet. Not yet. My dream's not yet, dead. Man. Take that, Neil.
Hey, not yet, bud.
You can't break me down.
We'll get your redemption, Kev. We will get it.
I'll have my Shawshank Redemption. Well, speaking of being elated and lifted up, Andy is so excited about this win. He busts out a Mozart record, and this scene kind of. Sorry, I'm still worked up about that ad.
Hey, bud, hang in there.
Escalates as it goes. Andy puts on this record and he's listening to it, and the guy that's pooping is like, "What's that noise?" Oh well, I don't know. I'm pooping. I'm reading. He's reaching an Archie or Jughead comic, and then Andy decides to play it over the loudspeaker through the entire prison and lock the bathroom door. So the guard can't get out. And this goes on for a bit. Like all the prisoners are just, it is a beautiful, a beautiful scene. Some great acting in it, Neil. And, the whole prison kind of shuts down and they're all just like staring up. It guards everyone. And, Hadley and the warden show up. And the warden tells Andy that he needs to open the door to the office.
Open that door, Dufresne.
And
open that
Andy
door.
Reaches over like he's going to turn the record player off, and then he just turns it up, dude. He just turns it up.
Yeah, then he looks smug until they kick the door in and sequester him and put him in a room by himself for a month.
They put him in solitary, or as they call it, the hole, for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Which is,
you think it was worth it, Kev?
To Andy, it is, because he comes back. No, for me, no, that wouldn't be worth 2 weeks. I don't know, man. It kind of depends.
What would you play over the loudspeaker, though? He went with a little more classical. Obviously, what would you play? I'm thinking maybe
Sammy Kershaw's Queen of the Double Wide Trailer, dude.
Or break stuff.
Oh, come on, dude. No. I need Sammy Kershaw, Queen of my Double Wide Trailer, dude.
Limp Bizkit might incite a riot. That's
going to be dangerous for everybody. But people can be like, man, is that Sammy Kershaw?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I thought I was going to bring you around. Is that what you would play, Travis? I would ask if you'd have let me answer, then I would have responded in kind and asked you what you would play.
No, I don't want.
Let's take that back.
Rhetorical.
Travis, what would you play over the radio?
Shania Twain.
Which one?
Oh, whose bed have your boots been under?
Oh, that's a good one, dude. That's a good one. Yeah, nice.
Or Any Man of Mine, maybe.
Any man of mine. I like it. Okay, all right. See, we had a fun conversation. Neil, Travis, whatever. That's your middle name, isn't it?
No, yeah.
Can I ask you something, Travis?
It's not me.
Okay, all right. You tell me though if it was you writing those ads, right?
Dude, if I could write that good, you'd know.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, when Andy gets back out of solitary confinement at lunch, he says that it was easy time because he had Mr. Mozart to keep him company. I love this whole scene to a certain extent because Haywood says, if it were me, I'd have played, just like you and I were having the conversation, I'd have played something good. I'd have played Hank Williams. And Andy said, well, I didn't have time to take requests before they kicked the door in. Sorry about that, buddy. And we find out that Red also played harmonica, and they have a pretty it turns out to be a little bit of a bitter back and forth about hope. Andy believes in having some hope, and Red's like, no, it's a waste of time at a place like this. It's gonna get you. You need to forget about hope. And Andy hits him with a jab. He says, like Brooks did.
Kev, you got to get busy dying or get busy living. If you want to die or live, you need to be busy doing one or the other.
Don't want to tell her. You're right, man. Well, our next scene is
a direct quote from the movie.
That is, you mixed up the living and down, but that's fine.
Nope,
that's
I got it right.
You did?
Perfect.
Okay, good job, dude.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Shania,
Thank you.
I would listen to Shania Twain if you played it. Red has another parole hearing. He's been in prison 30 years at this point.
He's due. Let's get him out of here. I'm feeling it.
Nope. Travis, he's going back in for at least another decade. And But
he said the same thing. He said, I am rehabilitated. I'm doing pretty good.
But he's I'm
not a threat.
He has taken his own words to heart. He has no hope here. He's just very resigned. Andy goes through one of Red's competitors and gets him a harmonica to help him celebrate his rejection.
I didn't even think about him going through the competitors.
Yeah, well,
that's funny.
Yeah, because he wanted it to be a surprise for Red, man.
Makes sense. Hey, Red, will you get yourself a harmonica?
Yep. So
you deserve it.
Prison life montage. We're gonna get a little prison life montage here. Andy gets a new poster. I think he's been in like 20 or getting close to 20, 15 years, whatever at this point. We see the library getting expanded, and the fellows are all going through a lot of the new books. And there's a great joke in here where they discuss first of all, Haywood calls it the Count of Monte Cristo, and then he says it's written by Alexander Dumbass.
Yeah, he don't get the words.
He doesn't. And then they find out it's about a prison break, and Red's like, well, we ought to put that in self-help or instructional, educational. That's what he says.
Yeah.
Good time.
And then they named their library after Brooks. I don't know if you said that, but that's a nice touch.
No, that is nice. You see Red carving the sign and everything, and we have the Brooks Memorial Library. So, and you know what?
And Haywood's in there just bopping to some Hank Williams, dude.
He finally. I do like some Hank Williams.
Yeah.
So we also find out about the warden's Inside Out program, where he essentially turns the convicts into slave labor for his own gains. So he hires them out for projects outside of the prison, and he skims off the top. He takes bribes. We see a scene between him and another contractor. He's like, I really need this road contract, for my family. Take a look at this pie my wife baked, and it's just stacked with cash, Travis.
I love money pie.
He does, man. He's got a pie bribe. And we find out that the warden has been using Andy's very excellent brain to hide all the money with the magic of money laundering and bookkeeping, those sort of things. So we see,
but Andy knows what he's been used for. He knows.
He knows. It
ain't like Andy don't know. Andy know.
No, he is a accomplice at this point, but he's got to do what he's got to do. So there's a second set of books, or a secret set of books, and they kind of go into the safe. And I want you to pay attention to the sequence now, Travis. I know you don't always pay attention to things. You got books going on in the safe.
I saw
laundry,
switching the books with the other books.
He's shining the shoes. Okay, all right,
shining them.
Okay, so all that happens.
He looks around and he's got the other set of books. He does swap.
Travis, that's about an hour later in the movie.
Okay, yeah. But I knew that was.
You knew that was coming. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. He was going to get.
I knew it. Right here, I was like, they're going to do a swip swap.
They're going to do a swip swap. Well, the sequence is that I wanted to call your attention to, Travis, was that he would get the books, put them in the safe. He would get the warden's laundry, and he would shine the warden's shoes. So we cut to the next scene in the library. They're putting away library books and eating pie, and we kind of yeah, dude, what a good time, right?
Can you think of anything better?
I mean, maybe listen to a little Shania Twain while I did it.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nailed it. Red kind of asks Andy about the scheme, and Andy, essentially, with almost like a little bit of pride, elaborates on how smart he is. He talks about how he's laundering the money and how it all leads back to a fictitious guy named Randall Stevens.
Old Randy.
Classic Randy. And Red, at that point, is pretty impressed in that, essentially Andy has created a human being out of thin air that he's funneling all this money and that sort of thing through. So, and there's a great line here where Andy basically says, I had to come to prison to learn to be a crook. I was always honest with the
Yeah.
And we kind of do a soft edit to a scene where they're playing checkers again, and they're kind of discussing the ethics of it and
of checkers,
of not checkers, of the scam that's being run. And checkers too. I mean, it's a highly unethical game in my opinion. I mean, Kings, come on, dude. We need to live in a more egalitarian state. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Well, as they're discussing ethics and playing checkers, the bus with the new convicts comes up, and we meet Tommy Williams, Mr. Rock and Roll, baby.
Fresh fish, lamb chops, handsome. Sign me up.
Well, he is Mr. Rock and Roll and also Mr. B&E, and he kind of tells the story to all the fellas at lunchtime. He's a very talkative, likable young guy. Handsome, I would even say handsome. You know what? Instead of charisma, I think he's got barisma. You know what I mean?
Got that moxie.
Because he does. He looks a little like Briz. Like if Briz greased his hair back and just had mutton chops and was about 15 years younger. 10.
You know what? I'm going to tell Briz to do that. I think he'd look real good like that.
Dude, he'd look really cool with some mutton chops and like greased back hair. I think I'd like it. Well, anyway, he tells all the fellas about how he got arrested, and Andy makes a joke. He's like, "Hey man, you've been arrested like 5 times. I think you should find a different career besides being a thief." And Tommy takes a little offense. He's like, "Wait, what do you know? What did you do to get in here?" And Andy, he brings back that callback of, "I'm innocent. Lawyer, lawyer screwed me over."
Lawyer screwed me over. Yeah.
Don't you know everybody in here is innocent? And of course, it's a big laugh at the table. So
it kind of shows that. Obviously, it shows that he's become one of them. He is also on his way to being institutionalized. Mm-hmm. He's got the same rhetoric.
Yep. Well, Tommy decides that he wants to get his GED. He's got a pretty young wife on the outside. I'm assuming she's pretty. He's a good-looking guy. He could probably do all right for himself.
Yeah.
And he's got a young baby, and he wants, as Andy suggested, a different path. So he asks about getting the GED. Andy finally agrees. He's like, "All right, you're not a loser, are you?" And he's like, "I'm not a loser. I can do this." Because once we start, we're not going to stop. And he says, "No, I'm going to do it." He's like, "But the thing is, I can't read so good." And then he's like, "Well, you can't read well." And Tommy said, "Huh?"
Got him. Got him.
That was kind of a mean. That's like Travis when I'm like, "Can I tell you something?" And you're like, "No, but you may." And I'm like,
Yeah, I love doing that to you, man. It's the best. You get so mad. Get so mad. I also hate it. I hate when people do it to me. So
okay,
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry I do it to you.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah.
Well, they start learning to read, or I should say, Tommy starts learning how to read, and he doesn't know how to read. He studies really hard. And he finally, and again, this is a little bit of a montage scene, so much time has passed. It's about a year. He learns nouns, parts of speech, all kinds of fun stuff. And he's taken the test. Andy is timing it. Again, I don't know how he got certified to be an adjudicator of the GED test, but we're just going to let that one ride, bro. Tommy is frustrated because he feels like he didn't pass the test. He's like, I don't need to worry about any points on this thing. He balls it up and throws it in the trash can. He says, that's 2 points right there, and storms off.
Which is pretty cool, man. If he'd done that step back jumper, maybe a 3.
Yeah,
but this was
dude.
before the 3-point line.
Yeah,
So
it would have been better with a hook shot, I think. A good, sweet hook shot.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah, dude.
You're right.
Well, Andy pulls the test out of the trash and sends it off anyway. And we cut to the wood shop, and completely by accident, so that we, as the audience, again, this is a well-written movie, we believe that Tommy is telling the truth. He gets Andy's full story about the murder from Red. Red's like, well, he was a banker and he killed his wife and his wife's lover, some golf pro. And it clicks for Tommy. He's like, oh, Andy didn't do that. I know the guy that really did it. So it turns out Tommy was in a cell with this real twitchy dude named Elmo Blatch. That sounds like a murderer if ever I heard one.
He does. He sounds like a puppeteer that is just made out of mud.
Just so much mud on him. You know what I mean?
Just a mud monster.
And I don't know. I recognize this actor. I've seen him in other stuff, but I don't know his name off the top of my head. But he plays a super creepy dude. He's just got this little part, but he's got this like creepy laugh and this intense stare where he's talking about how we get a flashback basically where he's talking about how he killed this golf pro, and he had worked at the country club to case rich people's houses. So he kills this golf pro and the girlfriend, and then it gets pinned on the soon to be ex-husband, and he just thinks it's hilarious.
I didn't find it that funny, if I'm honest.
I didn't either. I didn't find it as funny as him. I mean, sense of humors vary, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's true.
And this is delivered to the monologue is written and delivered so Stephen King too. Like the way he's like, he describes the way the guy refers to when people are giving him grief or whatever, and how he kills them or whatever. It's just written so very Stephen King.
Right.
Well, Andy immediately goes to the warden and he's like, "Hey, I need help with this. I'm innocent. Tommy's seen it," and the warden dismisses him. He's like, "Oh, this guy's just making it up,
Yeah. Do you know how many canaries start to cooing and a cawing once they get in here, bud?
At least one.
We know you killed your wife in that sweet hot pro golfing, bro. We know you did. All right, so let's get on out of here now.
Well,
Quit kidding."
That golf pro, by the way, was just a spot on match for John Daly, by the way. But not young John Daly. I'm talking John Daly now. It was wild, dude.
Yeah.
It was wild. Well, Andy's saying no, there would be additional evidence other than testimony, W-2s, records from the country club, all that sort of stuff. And the warden keeps dismissing him. And Andy finally says, "Why are you being so obtuse?" And I'll tell you what, the warden don't much care for being called obtuse. And Andy senses that, and he's trying to put the warden at ease. He says, when I get out of here, or if I get out of here, I'm not saying anything because I'm just as liable as you. That sends the warden to alpha level 12, where he essentially sends Andy to solitary for 1 month, which everybody says is the longest time anybody has ever been sent to the hole that they know of.
I mean, the warden obviously wants to keep using Andy for his ill-gotten gains. So you're like, he could just kill him and erase the evidence, but he still wants to use him. So he has to keep him around. And by putting him in the hole, he keeps him under his thumb for a little longer. Buddy, I wouldn't want to be in that hole for too long. Again, I could get caught up on some reading, if I'm in my regular cell, but you put me in the hole with my own thoughts, ooh, gross.
Yeah, dude. You're just in the dark with a sliver of light with your own thoughts for a month. That's rough, dude. That's rough.
Just podcasting with myself.
Yeah, but you wouldn't realize it. You'd have went mad at that point. Well, we find out.
Back to another episode of In the Hole. I'm your host, Travis, and it's still cold in here.
It's still cold in here. Mice are nibbling on my toes. Ow. Don't
miss
care
my
for
mama.
It. Don't care for it.
Miss my mom.
Well, anyway, Travis, you're not in the hole. You're here with me, buddy. Everything's okay. Well, anyway, Travis, 19 years Andy's been in prison, and he was completely innocent, and everybody is shocked. We get some mail while Andy's in the hole. We find out Tommy passed. He got his GED after all. And Andy gets that
Way to go,
news.
Tommy.
Way to go, Tommy. Everything's looking up for Tommy. Nothing can go wrong for Tommy whatsoever.
Dude, in the 1960s, if you had mutton chops and a GED, you could do whatever you wanted.
Make that kid's going to be president one day. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
The news gets down to Andy in the hole from one of the prison guards, and Andy looks rough, dude. He looks rough. Hadley picks up Tommy off his mopping duty and says, the warden wants to talk to you outside in the dark near the fence.
That's not good. What do you see? Do you see a possum get through there? He wants me to catch it. I'll catch a possum. Is that what this is? Is this vermin reconnaissance?
Hold on, Tommy. Let me ask you something. You know that thing you said about Andy? It's a crazy thing, isn't it? Would you be willing to say that in front of a jury and a court and lawyers and all that whatnot, Tommy? Would you be willing to do that?
Hey, I'll say it right now in front of you right now, Warden. Andy Dufresne did not kill his wife and that feller, okay? I know the guy who did. I'd say at the top of my lungs. I'll call the president, tell him tonight.
Oh, all right. Well, that's great.
Yeah, whatever you need. Where do I sign, boss?
Hadley, shoot this guy, because that's what happens.
Shoot who? Wait, is there a guy behind me that's
bang, you're dead, Tommy.
Ow,
you're dead
ooh.
from bullets in your chest.
Ooh, that's me you're shooting.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch.
I'm
dead.
That's right, Tommy. The warden and Hadley, who I assume is in on the take here. I mean, he's got to be. Or maybe he just likes shooting, dude. Maybe he just likes killing people, frankly. But anyway, they concoct this story about an escape, and they gun poor Tommy down.
Poor Tommy. You hate to see it because he's got that little kid at home. He just got a fresh GED.
Paint ain't even dry on that GED yet, dude.
No, you're right. It ain't.
Well,
and we don't even know if it's legit because, again, it was granted to him by another man in prison. But still.
Andy just mailed it back and out, and he just wrote A+ on it,
Yeah, good job.
Good job, Tommy. Well, the warden pays Andy a real smug visit, and he's like, boy, it was a shame. Tommy was trying to escape. We all hated it, but he got gunned down. It was terrible. And by the way, you're going to keep doing what I tell you to do, and nothing's going to stop. Or I'll burn that library and, all kinds of other, I'm going to kill, I don't know. He just makes a lot of threats. And then it's
I'll
like
burn down a library. I'll pee in all the chocolate milk. These boys won't have any good chocolate milk. It'll have pee. I want to fill in the rec yard with pea gravel so there won't be a soft spot to lay down in when you're tired.
And then he says one of the coldest lines in all of cinema. He leans over to Andy and says, or am I being obtuse?
Oh, man.
My man don't like being called obtuse. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, seriously, I kind of like the word obtuse.
I mean, I like it when I refer to triangles, but I don't know about this guy.
Yeah.
I've never, this scared me so much. I've never referred to anybody as obtuse or anything,
Yeah, you don't cross that line.
Mm-mm.
No, sir.
No, sir. Well, he basically...
He's menacing, though. This is the guy that's playing this character, this warden.
Oh,
a lot of warden characters are loud and, physically imposing, but he has this just very smarmy politician feel, and it's very effective. I don't like this guy.
He could easily be playing Satan. He could be playing Satan or a warden in this.
100%. I agree with that.
And then, Hadley's like imp number 1, whatever. Well, he gives Andy another month in the hole. So 2 months in the hole to kind of think it over. Andy finally, that's more hole than even I could handle, Travis. I'd be podcasting myself. once I was in the hole. That darn
My
long.
gosh.
Andy eventually does get out, and we get a scene with him and Red in the prison yard. And this is that very pivotal scene where I think Andy's making up his mind to kind of go forward with his plans. And him and Red are kind of talking, not at cross purposes, but not quite on the same line. And Andy talks about his wife. He's like, I was a bad husband, and she got killed because of me, but I'm done paying for that. If I ever got out of here, I'm going to go to a place called San Juantanejo. And then just so we remember, Red says it again. He says San Juantanejo. And so we just want to really hammer that home. If Andy ever got out, he would go to a place called
Where would he go again?
He'd go to San Juantanejo.
San Juan.
Yep.
San Juantanejo.
Yep, you got it. Now, Red tries to dispel his fantasy because, again, he believes hope is not such a great thing to have in prison. And this is where we get that very famous line, you either get busy living or get busy dying.
Or you get busy doing the business.
There's been some of that in this movie, and I'm against it.
Oh, you're against the bit? Well, it was.
In the case of this
business.
movie, yeah, it was for sure.
Yeah, it was adulterous business. We don't do that around here, no sir.
No.
Full Christian business.
Well, Andy then very pointedly tells Red about this rock, this hayfield that he and his wife, where he proposed and they made love. He's like, I want you to find this hayfield, and there's going to be a rock in it, and I want you to find what's buried underneath that rock. And we're like, yo, Andy's them threads are getting loose, dude. I'm worried about our boy Andy.
It's my wife's head.
No, that's that Kevin Spacey movie.
That would have been wild though if that's
that's where
the movie. We've been feeling good, and it's just
and the note said, "No, I did it. I actually did do it."
No, that was me. Now I'm free.
Well, the fellas are at dinner, and Andy's not there, and they all kind of agree to look out for Andy because he might be a little suicidal. And Haywood's like, "Well, I gave him some rope earlier today. Should I not have done that?"
Is that bad?
Haywood, you stupid moron.
Do guys who suicide play a little bit of tug of war beforehand? Because I gave him some rope.
Well, in the warden's office, it's business as usual. Those books go in the safe. The shoes are supposed to get shined, and the laundry is supposed to go down to the laundry. And the warden even smugly tells Andy, it's good to have you back. It just wasn't the same without you in here. Ugh, I hate him. I don't like him. Well, Andy sits down and shines those shoes, and heads back to his cell. And it's a stormy night, Travis. It's a long, stormy night. And we're
lucky it's stormy night, man.
Mm-hmm.
If it weren't storming and didn't have a good rhythmic thunder and lightning going on, I don't think this movie ends up the way it ends up.
I think it would have been. I think it's better because there is a storm. I don't know if I don't know. We're going to get into it here, but I don't know if Andy got the weather forecast and was like, "Yeah, no, it's going to rain tonight." Or maybe it was just heavy. Like you could just tell it was going to rain. But anyway, Morgan Freeman, we get a little voiceover saying that he was worried about his friend all night. We see Andy, holding the rope, and then we cut to the next morning, and they do roll out of the cells. Everybody steps out. Andy doesn't step out of his cell.
Where's Andy? He must not be feeling good.
He must be. Yeah, he must be tired. Whatever. And
he ate that whole rope.
He ate that whole rope. I told him that was too much fiber for one man, but he said, "No, I need it. It's good for your health."
The prison food ain't great, but I don't know if I'd go on and eat a whole rope, Andy.
Maybe some rope. Maybe mix it in, just to give it a little texture.
Boil it first. Soften it.
Yeah, you could boil it in the toilet, right? Like if you got a lighter or something. Toilet water.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can boil it.
Okay. Well, I was trying to problem solve in prison, but Andy's gone. We get a cut to the warden's office, and we see some dirty shoes in a box. The warden's shocked face, and then the alarm starts going off. There's been a prison break. So this is kind of when it's Badadia, or we don't know there's been a prison break. We just know Andy's missing. Sorry, but there has been. So we hear the alarm going off, and the investigation begins. The warden charges into Andy's cell. He's gone. I love the line where he says he's gone like a fart in the wind. Like, 'cause it feels like maybe that's one of the first times that the warden's veneer is really starting to crack. Like, he's really starting to kind of...
He's panicking.
He's panicking, exactly. And he kind of starts... Andy has these rocks that he's, been carving the whole movie. It's weird that his chess set's gone. That's weird. We noticed that. But the warden starts chucking these, like, rock sculptures, these tiny little rock statues that Andy's been making, and he's chucking them at everybody. He's angry, and he chucks one at the poster of Raquel Welch, I believe, and we hear ping, 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 and the warden sticks his finger all the way through Raquel and pulls that poster off the wall, and there's a hole approximately man-sized, Andy man-sized, all the way through the wall. And I love this was actually Stephen King's only critique of the movie. He thought the movie was great. Other than this, he's like, that hole that they cut for this scene is way too Looney Tunes, because it's like perfectly round. The warden and Hadley are both looking down, and then you see Morgan Freeman's head pop around the corner.
It's so big. Also, maybe the book covers this, I have no idea, but and this seems like a stupid question, but I'm asking it sincerely. Mm-hmm. How does he get the poster back up over the hole?
Oh, I think one little piece of tape on the back, and you can like pull it down and retape it. Yeah, I don't think that would be a big deal.
Okay.
I mean, I could figure that out, dude. I can figure it out.
You think you could figure that out?
Well, actually, no, because he went in head first. So I don't know, man. Andy had a lot of stuff figured out. So maybe he had the tape just hanging, and then he had a little string. We don't see the string because the warden tears the poster off, and then he just pulls the string once he's in there head first. Anyway, it is a plot hole. I think you're right. I was just trying to Dylan Spackle it, but I'm obviously not Dylan. You know what I mean? So, well, Andy has in fact escaped, and all they find is his clothes and a rock hammer, as Red says, worn basically down to the nub, and that he thought it would take 600 years to tunnel out, but it took Andy just shy of 20.
Hey, not bad.
Nah, right? So we get a little flashback when Andy had the idea to do this. It was back when he was carving his name. He got that first A in. He went to do the other letter, and a big chunk fell out. So he gets a poster, he covers it up, and he spends the next 20 years essentially digging this tunnel. And what I love about this is, like, he's probably had this tunnel done for a while, and he's calculated enough that he's figuring out, okay, once I get to the other side of that, there's all these pipes. Which pipe how can I get? Do I need to tunnel out another way and then run across here? I'm going to get shot. So he finally figures out which pipe to kind of crawl out. He's probably got plans of the prison, like, but you don't get any of this information. You just kind of see like the
result of his work.
Yeah, the results of his work. So we go back to the warden's office. We also see Andy has like been dumping his wall out into the yard over the course of these 20 years. He puts it in the cuffs of his pants. And we see the night before where Andy's in the office. He switches the books, just like you said, Travis, earlier. Very good that you noticed that. About an hour ago.
Yeah.
About an hour ago.
Swippity swap. I knew it's coming, dude.
So he switches the books. So he's got the real books. And he puts a fake folder and that Bible, if you remember his Bible, in the safe. And he shines up the shoes, and he's gonna basically wear the shiny shoes, because how often do you look at somebody's shoes? So that's how he gets those back to his cell. The warden's suit that is probably closest to fitting Andy. I do have a little bit of a problem that he has a perfectly tailored suit when he shows up to the bank, and he's so much taller than the warden. But, again, small plot hole we can forgive. But he basically wears the warden's suit underneath his prison clothes, so nobody sees that. And he gets all the stuff back to his cell. He packs up everything he wants to take with him, ties it with the rope around his ankle so he doesn't lose it as he's crawling through the wall, hops down, and then he smashes open the doo-doo pipe, the sewer pipe, the poo-poo pipe, Travis. He smashes it
of doom.
with, again, as you mentioned, very cleverly, Travis, that there was a storm going on, so he times his hits with the thunder, so nobody...
You got to be real lucky to get that thunder lined up, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
He's looking at weather forecasts. I mean, he's all over it, dude.
But it only takes him about 2 hits. These are them old clay pipes. Them things ain't nothing.
Yeah.
So he smashes the pipe. Poop shoots out of it because it's a Stephen King adaptation. So, of course, there's going to be more poop.
Poo-poo.
A lot of scatological. He crawls 500 yards, I believe, Travis.
Yeah, 500 yards in the poopy dookie.
All the way out, which this is also how we, the audience, finds out that the sewer pipe for the prison's just been dumping in the water source.
Not
for
great.
years. Don't love that. But he crawls out. It's raining. He runs through the water. He's got a bar of soap. And it's that scene where he, pulls his shirt off and he's, standing there in the rain. Fun fact with that, they couldn't get the scene in focus for whatever reason. So they ended up going through a pile of takes to get this one, and they finally got it in focus. Literally the shot that you see in the film was the only one they had that was workable or usable. So
dying. No wonder they put that on the cover. They were like, "We're so proud of this. We finally got it.
We're proud of this." So we cut back to Andy's cell, and we find out that at the same time the warden was discovering the escape, a man named Randall Stevens was strolling into all the banks in Maine, basically in the Portland, Maine area.
That guy's not even real,
right? But you know what? His signature perfectly matches Andy Dufresne's. How about that? So
imagine that.
He collects all of this money, about $300,000 or $400,000. I'm not sure what that would be in today's money, Travis, but maybe you could look that up.
Well, what year is it supposed to be at this point?
1969, I believe he escapes.
Nice.
So about $370,000 I have specifically in my notes. He also asks that the cashier from the bank put something in the outgoing mail, which are what we're assuming are the crooked books, so that those are evidence for the Portland newspaper that gets them. And the police are going to be coming after the officials at the prison.
$3.3 million.
Oh, he got away good. He did all right. Well, the police show up at the prison. They're arresting Hadley. The warden pulls the book out of the safe, and it's that Bible that he had in his hands earlier, and carved out on the inside of it is the perfect outline of that rock hammer that Andy had hidden in there all those years ago.
Got him.
And I love it, too, because the warden told him salvation lies within, and Andy wrote a little note with the Bible that said, "You were right, warden. Salvation did lie within."
So good.
So apparently Hadley cries like a little girl as the police are hauling him away, but warden, he don't plan on going quiet. So he loads up a pistol.
No.
We think, dang, is he going to have a shootout? What's going to happen? No, he just shoots himself in the face.
Yeah, he does. That's too bad, I guess. Gosh dang. Ooh.
Yeah,
man.
I didn't lose any sleep over it. I love Red too. Red's like, he's like, I like to think the last thing that went through the warden's mind besides that bullet was how Andy Dufresne got the best of him. I do love that. We do get a postcard from Texas. Andy, that's where he crossed over into Mexico, heading to San Guantanamo. In the prison, time passes. They always want to tell stories about Andy because it probably does give them hope. Red says he misses his friend. Eventually, after 40 years in Shawshank Penitentiary, Red gets out, and he has the most epic parole hearing.
Dude.
At least in this movie, anyway.
He's all out of F's to give, man. He's just like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I say. Doesn't matter what I do. All right? You're wasting my time. Get me out of here.
He says, you just go on and stamp that paper, Sonny.
Yeah, calls him Sonny.
He's like, all that's left is this old man. I'm like, God, Morgan, you got this. You got this, buddy.
He's still with us, man.
Then
173-year-old Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. Well, he does, in fact, get parole. For some reason, all he needed to do was give the parole board sass.
I know, right?
And so we get a little bit of, Brooks version 2, right? So, a lot of the same, he's working in the same grocery store. He's staying in the same room that Brooks stayed in because it says Brooks was here. And he's thinking a lot of the same. What's that?
With the is crossed out.
With the is, yeah, it was. Brooks was here. Sorry. It took me a little while to catch up to you there, Travis. Your grammar jokes elude me many times. So essentially Red's thinking the same things. He's like, I can't go to the bathroom without asking somebody for permission. I just think I want to go back to jail. Except for a promise that I made to Andy that I would go find Gwyneth Paltrow's head in that box out in Buxton in a hayfield. So that's what he does. He heads out to Buxton and he finds that hayfield and he brings up this box and it doesn't have Gwyneth Paltrow's head in it. So that's good, I guess. But what it does have is a letter asking Red to come meet him in a whole envelope, full of cash, Travis. Cash money.
Cash money.
We don't know how much it is, but it's enough to buy a bus ticket to head on down to San Juan $8.
$8.
It was
$8 for a bus down.
I bet it was 1970 at this point. I bet them things cost a little bit more then. But anyway,
yeah,
he heads on that bus all the way down to basically Texas. He crosses over. He finds Andy in San Juan, and the camera pans out as they're hugging and embracing each other. And apparently Frank Darabont did not want to include the happy ending. He wanted it to be a little more ambiguous. But everybody was like, no, dude, the audience has sat through 2.5 hours of this. They give them the happy ending, Frank. So he does not like a happy. You ever seen his movie, The Mist? He don't like happy endings.
Oh, he did so good with The Mist. He made it better than the book. The ending is dark as hell.
It's very dark.
No, I think if I had to do one critique of this movie, I think the ending maybe is a little too pure. I love the movie as it is, but it feels very Disney. I do think he should have found his wife's head under a rock, or when Red tries to go to Mexico, they won't let him in, and he just has a shootout and dies by a cop at the country border. I don't know. I just felt like it needed a little something because you don't want to forget these are convicts. They it's not like we're rooting for absolute purity here.
So what you're telling me, Travis?
Well, no, and I'm not saying they deserve the worst, obviously, but I think these are complex characters that were the entire movie portrayed as more pure than maybe they are. I would have liked a little more grit.
Can you not let them have a Shawshank Redemption? The name of the movie is Shawshank Redemption. Let them have a redemption at the end, dude. I like the happy ending.
I agree.
I like it. I would not want any other ending. I might have.
I like it. I just turn it off right before that end. I go, they don't meet in my world.
I could see an argument for ending it where he's riding away on the bus to go find Andy, and we don't know if he does. We think he does. We assume he does. Whatever. But I think that I like that as an ending. I don't know that I necessarily need them like hugging at the end, which is what we get. But it is pulling away, so it kind of softens that sweet saccharine ending a little bit. But I love it. I like that there's a happy ending here, Travis. I don't normally like to tell you you're wrong, but you're wrong, dude. This movie needed that.
No, I like the movie. I was just saying this is an option they could have gone with if they wanted to get a little more gritty with it instead of having the happy ending, which is fine. It's fine.
All right.
I like it.
All right. Well, who cares what we think, Travis? How about some of those post-credit reviews?
Dude, people People have a lot to say about this movie. And one thing that I noticed that this comment calls out, and I think you and I will both maybe have a little something to add to this. This is a 5 stars from Prezzo, March 2024. They say, "Mother's aged maybe 20 minutes in there."
Yeah. Woo. Well, first of all, boy, that sound is still.
I'm real sorry.
That's rough. Andy, they put a little gray in his hair. Morgan, a little gray in his hair. The one that bothers me is Hadley or the ward never age.
Never
like
age.
they look the same age at the beginning of the end of the movie, but I'll let it ride. I don't look. I mean, I still. it's been 20 years. I still basically look 20, right, Travis?
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically.
Thanks.
Basically.
When I was 20, I had arms and legs, so
That's fair. All right. Here we go. How about a 5 star from Vani Simarmata, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I've just watched The Shawshank Redemption for the first time. No one told me it was about the value of tax education. Which is true. If you're a tax guy, you're good, or tax gal, you're in good business.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems like good advice to have. I don't know why they give it a half star, but we'll just.
No, they gave it a full 5.
Oh, did they? Okay, I thought you said a half star. Okay, all right, thank God.
Maybe I misread that. No, that's a 5. That was a 5 star from Vonnie, and they said this is about tax education.
I don't know, man. Right. I might have zoned out. Who knows? Yeah, right now somebody's like, rewinding it back, and they're like, nah, one of them's right.
No,
it was wrong.
Yeah, it was. One of us was right or wrong. 3 stars here from Gru _official. Mm-hmm. This is from March of this year. It's just 3 stars. This took way too long for them to escape. I can clearly see that they're not professional supervillains because I could easily be able to escape in 2 hours tops. That is, if the cops could even catch me.
That's a meta joke. That's the villain from the Minions movie.
Yeah, from the Minions movie.
Good.
It's Gru official. He would have escaped, no problem.
Yeah, easy peasy. Yeah. Okay. All right. I like it. I like what you did there.
Now, here's a longer one. This is a 2.5 from Nadergate back in 2021. Actually, it was the day before tax day in 2021, speaking of tax education.
Oh, okay.
Another massively acclaimed film that just ends up feeling sterile. Almost like a super glorified Hallmark Channel movie. Obligatory narration, well-mannered performances, and even the expletive/name-calling are borderline goofy most of the time. Everything is calibrated to elicit a very specific response and takes part in the emotional manipulation akin to Forrest Gump and the likes. This is probably Roger Deakins' most flat cinematography. Robbins and Freeman have some undeniable chemistry on screen, but nothing that leaves any real lasting impact. This just isn't for me, I suppose. Also, for a film consistently regarded as the greatest of all time, it just feels very one-dimensional. How you feel about that, Kev? You feel okay? You look upset. You look mad.
I hate everything about that person. They're like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be snarky about everything that makes that movie good and say that's what makes it bad. Dude, you're not that smart. You're not that smart. Listen, okay. All right. I can't even.
You want to let it go?
I can't.
You call Better Yelp?
Yeah, I'm gonna call Better.
Call Better Yelp. You call Better Yelp.
God,
they
it's
said
just
this movie is as good or about as good as Forrest Gump.
I hate Forrest Gump, by the way. And to compare this movie, I don't hate it. It's just not. Okay, I do. I don't like it. But it just to compare this movie that's actually good, and you're like, I'm sorry. Is this a Hallmark movie? I don't remember all the beatings, the constant the murders. I don't remember those in the last Hallmark. Oh my, ooh,
hey,
Travis.
Kev, when was the last Hallmark movie you watched that had prison business? All right, so that one made you upset, Kev. Maybe this will bring you back. All right, we have a half star from Patrick Starr.
Okay,
Patrick Starr not even given a whole half of his last name. If the Shawshank Redemption is so good, then how come they never made a Shawshank Redemption 2?
They get caught again and they have to escape again.
They have to go back. Yeah. Or maybe they escape a nursing home. Wouldn't that be fun?
Dude, we've already pitched it. Sons of Shawshank. We've got it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you did it to where they escape the nursing home, and then they find their way over, and it's a mishmash. It's Shawshank 2 meets Cocoon 2. Boom.
Whoa.
One movie rules them all, man. It was in the same universe. What?
And Tim Robbins and Steve Guttenberg would be incredible on scene in a movie together, man. Here's what I don't like about that review is like they're having a little fun, like, I know Shawshank Redemption 2. They're making a joke. Why did they knock it a half star? Like, you want to get your joke in there, I get it, but just go ahead and rate it like a good rating. Why pull down the average rating? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a website. Who cares? But like, it kind of matters to me.
Yeah, I think about that sometimes, and then I immediately just stop thinking about it, and I feel better. So maybe just don't. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Just
don't worry about it. Call better, Yelp.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. That's all of them. That's all I got.
Well, Travis, that was quite a journey. I feel a lot of emotions after those post credit reviews. But despite production budget of roughly $25 million, The Shawshank Redemption earned only around $18 million during its initial theatrical run, making it a notable disappointment for the studio at the time. Now, to me, its underwhelming box office performance is proof that popularity and quality are not always synonymous. Of course, 1994 was one of the most competitive years in film history, Travis, with audiences flocking to see Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, Lion King, True Lies, and Speed. All right, so it was a big
Pretty
year,
stacked.
man. Over time, however, The Shawshank Redemption found its own redemption among audiences and cinephiles alike. It now routinely appears on lists ranking the greatest films ever made, where it should be, and endures. It endures, that's right, Travis, thanks to remarkable performances from Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman, alongside an exceptional supporting cast. The film's success and enduring reputation also helped pave the way for another acclaimed collaboration between Frank Darabont and Stephen King with The Green Mile in 1999, another prison movie. Although nominated for multiple Academy Awards and Golden Globe Awards, The Shawshank Redemption ultimately went home empty-handed. Still, its legacy hardly suffered for it. The film has instead secured something far more meaningful: recognition as one of the finest and most beloved works in cinematic history. With its enduring themes of hope, perseverance, and humanity in the face of despair, it remains a timeless story featuring some of the strongest character development and screenwriting ever put to film.
I can't argue that.
So you tell that one dude to suck it.
Well, I did. I just sent him. Bruce. I just replied.
Thank
Suck
you.
It.
Thank you for that, Travis.
Well,
if you enjoyed this podcast, you could catch Travis on lots of other podcasts like Polykill and Drunk Friend over on the Polymedia Network, a subsidiary of Haley Bechtel Inc. LLC, all rights reserved. You can catch me over on the board game podcast Blue Peg, Pink Peg, a subsidiary of Haley Bechtel Inc. LLC. Hold on a minute.
She got yours too? Wait, hold up.
When did she get Blue Peg, Pink Peg? Okay, all right. It's fine. I'll look into that later. You can catch us both on stage with Big Lit Conspiracy doing improv comedy. If you want to keep us breaking out, support the show on Patreon as Polymedia Network. I guess we would normally thank our pal Harvest Black for that "Get Busy Living" theme song, but he did. It's not. But
Yeah,
we just
I
want
don't know what happened
to.
to
Just
it.
that we don't know. Thank, I guess, Haley for that new great theme song.
Yep.
And just like our Uncle Doug always says,
Remember, Red, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies.
Thank you.